All right, morning team. Morning. Hope you're all doing good. Welcome to the stream. And Tuesday morning. So let's see where we're opening up on the week. I don't think we have a huge amount of edge in this market where we're opening up this morning, but let's go over it, all the narratives and see what we've got. So as always, starting on the daily. Yesterday we had a gap and go into a rotational day. All right, so we gapped up yesterday in here. Right, we offered a pullback and then they got long and failed into this old gap. All right, this is an old gap from this big kill candle day. All right, if we go to regular trading hours instead of extended, this grey box is a gap. We have supply above, so we have gap fill potential up here. And currently we have all these participants still stuck. So you can see where their stop was, sort of 850, 880, this level here, from Thursday, the 30th, holding on as supply. And we've not really retested that or this or the top of the gap yet. So that's the first one. We also have a gap down here from the new week opening gap for the gap up. So gaps both sides, one gap here right now. Market, technically, all right, it's still intact for downside pressure. When does that change? Well, I would say basically if bulls can set a higher low, all right, on a daily, which is what they're trying to do. If they can set a higher low on the daily, somewhere near this 20-day, 5-day, if they really need to come down here just like this and find that for the move, then if bull can set the higher low, then they have a chance of the higher high break, and that will be into supply, which is why swing longs are going to be better than day trades in this market at the moment, unfortunately, unless it does it in one day. For this move up into this gap and to test supply, and then you'd be taking partials, and then, you know, if the market does want to get going, it will. The other side to that is all the time we're still rejecting this, all right, and there's downside pressure on the market. Remember, the breadth on the market right now does not look good, all right? The market in general, when you zoom out of the Mag 7, it ain't looking pretty, folks, all right? So I wouldn't be too uber bullish on this market. I'd try and keep a balanced view on it, all right? If we go swing to swing, pull back to mid, all right, this is a battleground now while they figure out what's what. So I'd be trading rotations and edges until it proves otherwise. Let's go into the hourly. We can see a bit more. Make sure you can see this properly. Just make this bigger for a second. All right, there we go. Okay, so yesterday's value is going to be key. Remember, we are opening up currently an inside bar on the daily, suggesting what? Chop and rotation. We're opening up inside previous day's value, suggesting chop and rotation. All right, you're getting the picture here. We're not expecting a huge trend day here, not until it proves otherwise. Right now, we are expecting a choppy market and a rotational market while we build out liquidity. So the areas I'd be interested in are the edges of yesterday's value. Do bears, all right, protect previous day value area high, previous week point of control, previous day point of control? If bears protect this, even if there's a look above this and a trade inside and a failure, where are they likely to trade to? Back down to previous day's value area low, all right, which is where bulls came in yesterday and bears got trapped at the lows. That's where we played those longs back up yesterday. Okay, outside of this, we can think about what next. If, it is a big if right now, if bulls are able to reclaim this and hold an hourly higher low up here. So if this is a pullback and a hold, then we have liquidity for a reach up into the overnight highs, yesterday's highs. And if we get really lucky, there is some liquidity up here at previous week value. All right, so I'd be long if the market can prove itself and base over this, or if we drift down into value, maybe a little look below and a regrab of it and a trade back up, much like yesterday. Those are your long triggers. Your short triggers are simply the opposite. A look above that and a failure back down, or even a move into it and a failure to get through it and a move back down to value. Outside of previous day's value, area low, right? If they look below, stay heavy, we obviously have gap fill, all right? There's still gap fill down there. So I would be not actioning trades in this middle part, all right? Where we had this imbalance yesterday, had these big hourly imbalances, straight down, straight up. not really too keen to action there. Bulls may very well try and hold on to this, but your location is not great, unfortunately. It's just how they've built out the structure at the moment. Things can change. Things can change as we develop through the day. As a reminder, it is VEPS day, so if the volume is low, I might just leave this alone. Yesterday, we'll say one thing. Yesterday's breadth was awful, absolutely awful again. And the volume on the move back up was also very, very low. That wasn't notable buying volume yesterday. That was a squeeze out. So I have this in the back of my mind. I'm not trying to have edge to be a bear, but I'm also not trying to have edge to be a bull. Just want to just be still, let them make their decision. Let's see who gets trapped and when they get trapped, and then we can start playing. Because right now you have a battle of time frames. You don't have a pivot, right? If we think about the strong swings, right, these are the strong swing points, right, that created the lows, right? We don't have a strong swing to create the high yet. This is soft yesterday, I would say. Maybe it might very well be that they do it, and that's fine, we can join. But I don't want to be too biased when we're just trading inside bars on a daily and inside bars on a weekly and inside value on previous day, right? Be very, very careful. Okay, if we go upside into this 5 minute now, and we'll see the same thing I talked about. So Asia, all right, tried to hold a bid. Yesterday we closed over value. We created some volume up here. Asia tried to hold, but look what happened. It got stuck into this condensed value area from last week. All right, we've got a huge amount of volume up here from the previous week. Remember, this is previous week. This is a thick, condensed weekly volume shelf. It's not getting through it. So if we reject that shelf, then we probably rotate and see if buyers want to come in lower. So Asia, 3 drives, 1, 2, 3, fails, rotates down, tries to hold value. Look, there's your bid off previous day point of control, reclaims previous week point of control, fails, gets stuck in that liquidity, drops. All right, so this area, like we just talked about, is key, and then this area above, because these are the areas where they've rejected. So any drive in here that fails, probably a move back down into here. If it gets a look above and fails into this liquidity here, all right, then it's either going to hold this or it's going to fail that and come back down to there. So these are the areas. I want to see how we react in this area, and this area. I don't really want to trade in the middle of those. All right, hopefully that's made it nice and clear. Let's move up here. Let's have a look at some of the other indexes quickly. I'm just going to go at ETFs today, spiders. Okay, so interesting here. Spiders trying to hold above these pivots right now. All right, that's the chance for the spiders to go upside. If it fails to hold here, well, guess what? It's coming back down towards previous day low. If it fails that, it's got a gap. It doesn't have to do all these moves I'm talking about today either. If the volume's low today, we may very well, right, if volume is low today, we may very well just do this for a day. All right, it can easily do that an inside day. So just be aware of that. Qs, you can see the problem in the Qs at the moment is all the gaps, right? Big gap up, gap down, and we have these gaps here still to fill in from last week. So lots of gaps all over the place. So they might act as magnets as it goes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Okay, let's go through the mag, because there was some mag news this morning, mainly in NVIDIA, which is finding some weakness right now. Okay, Apple gap up, failing previous days of New York VWAP. A slight gap up there. Nothing's changed here. Like I said yesterday, I don't think there's any edge in Apple until it breaks out. It attempted it yesterday. If we think about majority of this range is in here. All right, so rotational market. Is there edge to trade that? No, just sitting in my swing position in that. Amazon. Let's have a look at yesterday. Drive up, failed, came down, held. Now trapped in this range. This is very much like QQQ and NQ. All right, it's got to make its decision. It will build out liquidity here, and it will either do one of these, or look below and trade back up, or look above and trade back down. All right, so we don't want to get chopped in that liquidity. It's fine to sit on our hands today. I'm not seeing edge in the market yet. Goog, let me just zoom out of this a minute. All right, that's a little bit more promising on Google. The question is, can it hold bids? All right, so here's your walk down. 1, 2, retest of the low, held, back above. Can it hold above this W for a rotation? If it can, that's a very, very bullish sign. If this is a look above and fail back into this range, that is not a good look on Goog. Currently gapping down. Meta also gapping down. I'm not convinced this is done bleeding yet, just based on a daily. I'm not convinced yet. Did we fully gap fill? Maybe. I didn't think we'd fill that gap, but maybe. We have one more below into 548s, but we'll see. You can see Meta, big old down the hill. The question is, can it find a bid? Little squeeze out, that's probably sold back into. Sort of back up into 15s, 14s and 15s. You can see these big prints where we broke. So not bullish until it reclaims that. Doesn't look that pretty. These squeeze outs we've had in the Qs, I'm not convinced on them yet. All right, Nvidia. This is what's driving the market. All right, it's been driving the market for a year plus now. Double top, failure, failed range, back down to area of demand. Okay, big squeeze out Friday. Huge squeeze out from sort of 180s, 179s Friday. Gap up Monday. Drive up all day into what? Into just shy of the area it failed from. And psychological number 200. Okay, 200 psychological number on Nvidia. It's had news this morning. I'm going to have to remind myself what that news was. Maybe someone else can post it in chat. It had news this morning. Who was it that sold their... So what bank was it? Some bank has sold their position in Nvidia, basically, which basically is saying like, hey, we're getting out of it. So that's the news causing this drift down. Now, it's not necessarily bearish, but we're having a gap down here, and we've had a big squeeze up from here, haven't we? So if we start losing previous day low, it can come right down to 190. If it does that, I would imagine your likes of AMD, all the chip related names probably start to follow, and we might get weakness in the Qs for that move down if that's the case. SoftBank, that's it. Nice. Thank you. Okay, and last one, Tesla. Looks a bit like Nvidia, doesn't it? All right, double top, failed, lower high, failed to reclaim, lowers, fails. Can it hold this for a squeeze out? If not, coming right back to here, but a gap down again. So most of the market flat and gapping down. And most of us right now are in sort of no man's land in terms of positioning. All right, in terms of positioning, we're right at the midpoint. If we think about the swing from previous day low to overnight high, all right, we're right at the midpoint. So if you were to put a trade on right now and you're going to risk the swing high and swing low, you're at a 1-to-1 with no edge. So for me, at the moment, we're opening also near VWAP. There's not a lot going on here for me to like really feel good about pulling a trigger here this morning. So let's just let it develop, folks, and see how we go. All right, good morning, everyone. I don't think I'm going to get a chance to go through the good mornings again. I'm a bit late here, and there's lots of you in here today. So thanks for joining. Do me a favor, smash that like button nice and early. I would like to give away some free stuff today. Even if we do a short stream, it might be that if there's no volume on the tape today, I will leave early because I've got other work I can get on with. But I'm not going to sit here and watch a dead market. But let's see. Maybe we get something. Let's just give it a chance. Let's give it a chance. I'll tell you what. I'm going to move. Where's that volume from previous week? That looks okay in there. All right. All right, folks. $20 seconds here to the open. Again, not looking to action anything at the open here. No edge in this market right now. We are gapping down on the cues. Most of the mag are gapping down to flat. It's possible we want to come and revisit previous day's value area low, but let's just give it a chance to get through first few minutes and see what we have. So all of the mag gapping down other than Apple, relative strength 0.60% up again, and Amazon 0.14% up. Rest of the mag gapping down. Biggest loser there, Nvidia, 2.25% down on that open print hit this morning. Let's just give it a chance to be shaken out. Okay, morning drive up into sort of overnight VWAP there. Previous day VWAP level, lower time frame algo. I'm going to get an anchor on. And let's see. Big selling up there into lower time frame algo. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my anchor locked in. There we go. And let's just give it a chance. Lots of volume traded this morning there into 1.8. Bit of negative delta there, but let's see. Lots of volume was traded there. I'm really interested in playing these edges. If we can get either up into here or down into here, that's where I'm interested. I don't really want to action anything here. I think it's just going to be very choppy if we're going to stay here. Amazon, everything now gone red other than Apple. So some heaviness. We're still holding that New York open, but market not finding like a big bid out here this morning. Not like the last few days where the opening print has gone straight upside. We're seeing some sell pressure, or at least some containment, let's say, rather than sell pressure. Not seeing a big downside move, seeing containment. One thing we didn't go over was the VIX. VIX is trading at previous day low right now. All right, it's just trying to find a bid there, but not, again, it's in a balanced range right now on the VIX. Really not expecting a lot here today. If the volume's low, if we don't get moving, I will get off the stream early. And it would be doing you guys a favor if I do that as well. I'm not going to trade low probability setups. But if we get something high probability, I'm by all means I'm going to take it. All right, so let's see if we can drive up into these levels. I'm interested in either failures in these levels, look above some fails, or reclaims if we're going to remain bullish for the next move up to previous week value area high. I'm open to both sides of the trade because we're in a balanced range, but I'd prefer to be fading edges all the time we're in a balanced range. But if we break out and hold, well, it will perk my interest. Apple's starting to grind upside right now. Amazon's found a bid. Everything trying to find a bit of a bid, but still all red. Just shy of that previous day point of control at the moment. Back to VWAP. Morning, Raf. Morning, everyone. Sorry I didn't get a chance to do the good mornings. Okay, just doing this dance. Lower time frame algo, VWAP. Again, not looking to action here. We're right in the middle of the range. Back down to this New York open. See if they bid off this and try and take it upside. If not, if they fail this, there's potential for a move lower. There's some aggressive selling here coming in on the tape, but I'm not convinced because we're just at that New York open. If they sell through this and they want to do a bigger move down, it might catch my interest a little bit, but I'm currently unconvinced of anything in this market. We just look like we're in a choppy, balanced range with not a lot to do. And I guess if they do want to squeeze, there is liquidity it can go for in sort of Asia and London. I guess we did sweep at 8:30 this morning, but no sweep in the New York session. And we're just hanging out at this New York VWAP, so not great. Not great, folks. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on the tape. Some selling coming in here, but just if we don't move soon, it might be a walkaway day. It's a small range compared to what we've had the last few days. We're in the 40 points of range. I was trying to get that squeeze out towards previous day point of control, but met with some selling up there so far. Nothing's moved. Still inside the opening 6 minutes or whatever, 5 minutes. Not outside the opening 5-minute candle yet. Just inside this range. Nothing to do here. Nothing to action. This is what we expected this morning. Just literally not a peep to do. If they can squeeze out, then they can go and have a look at the point of control above, and then up here, I'm interested in actioning something. Down here, I'm actually interested in actioning something. In the middle, I'm not really interested in actioning anything. Morning, BU. Morning, JJ. Okay, here's the squeeze back up to previous day point of control. So in these areas, I have some interest at both sides of the trade. I'd rather be fading the edges. Let's see what liquidity is up above 750s. Okay. So we'll see. Here's previous day POC. Just shy of it at the moment. Just shy of the VWAP at the moment. Down towards value. And they failed up there at that POC. It's a notable fail up there, I would say. Back down to VWAP. Here's the flush. So watching the New York now. It's a big fail at POC. Like I said, I'd rather trade the edges if possible. Notable fail at previous day point of control. They didn't give us an entry there. You would have had to slam that short back into range. So this is the area where I want to be trading fading edges in. They haven't given me the opportunity there. But they did come up to it, and they did catch buyers offside up there. So watching this New York open now, we're still in range. That is a notable fail at previous day point of control. That is sellers saying, hey, no, you're not coming back through this range. Again, still very early in the session, but you can see what I was looking for. It didn't give me the entry, but this is why we trade edges in range. I don't want to be buying this midpoint. I don't want to be buying up here, and I don't want to be selling down into previous day value. I ideally want to see this do something like this and then offer that trade back into here, and we can hold runners down into these lows, ideally. If it doesn't want to give us an A+, then, well, we won't get a trade, and that's okay. Morning, Priska. And you can see the chop continuing. So you can always just zoom out. You don't have to go on a 1 minute, look at a 5 minute. Have we moved? No, not really. All right, not really done anything. Just zoom out, look left. We're still underneath all of this. We're just trading sideways. Lack of edge in the market. I would say there's downside edge for rotation if it can trap bulls. Well, I've not seen something I want to action. You would have had to be very quick to play this short up here. And starting to reject current value. So where do those bulls get stuck? 34s, and definitely at the highs. I'm buying delta at the highs there. Where is my delta gone? There it is. Might find some sell pressure here. If they trade under New York, you will find some sell pressure here. This is like, oof, it's iffy. They're trying to hold that New York open. If they fail New York open, you're going to see some sell pressure here downside. Here's New York open. Here's the flush. All right, playing this. Lovely. Cover a little bit into Globex, just scalping away. If we can get lucky here, we get a move down to 71s. But I'm seeing money taking money today. I'm not trying to look for a trend day. We are in rotation. I would rather be short up here. But I've already taken money off the table. I'm short from 13s at the moment. And covered straight away into that Globex level of 96s. And if we reclaim 13s, I'll just stop BE. I'm not going to give it room to reclaim view up here because we're trading in range. Need VIX to find a bid, which we're not seeing at the moment. I want to be careful. Okay, knocked out BE. I'm not going to give it any room. So just $200 on, well, most of the accounts there, you can see. All right, so just scalping away this morning, not looking to hold. They're going to be small, sharp trades, and that's it. Still in range, still rejecting current value, which is up here right now. Let's anchor this on so you can see. Current value on the session is being rejected at 27s. Now they're going to give that flush, all right? So I'd be watching now if you can get the move down towards 84. I'm now knocked out of it, unfortunately. 84 and 71s, all right? If they can get an expansion of current value down into here, great. If you get through that, you're holding runners down to previous day value. If we reclaim 27s, I would leave it alone and let them drive back into previous day value area highs and look for a short rotation there as the chop continues. How to trade sideways. Fatty, you think I'm fat? You're the guy that talks a lot of bullshit on my YouTube, leaving nasty messages because you think you're a big man. I'd love you to come and meet me face to face and call me fat and see what happens. I'd enjoy it, mate. We'd see how long you'd last. There you go. All right, failing now. So starting to drift down. You'd be looking for this trigger point, covers into here, and then if you can get down to previous day value, because all we're rotating through, like we talked about, is previous day value. That here was the inkling that shorts weren't going to let buyers get back through the range. We're now rotating in this range. If you let go of this range, we will explore yesterday's value area low. That's how we're going to chop today. Yeah, he wouldn't. Mate, I'm over 6'1" and 215 pounds. You're not going to do shit to me, mate. Other than get yourself in a lot of pain. It's not going to happen. Yeah. Nice green otter. No, that's good. Like, the short location was up here. It didn't give me the entry I wanted. So once we got a failure up there, right, I entered a bit later once I saw this, and I entered for, or is it the first move? Where did I get this one? And knocked out runner here, because I'm not going to give it room in rotation, because rotation, if they catch shorts down here, they'll rotate back up. All right, so if I have less than an ideal setup, which is less than ideal here, I have to cover and give BE. And if they want to rotate up, that's fine. I'll let them rotate up, and then I'll look for the same thing here, back down into current value, and if we get lucky, previous day value area low. If we reclaim above previous day's value, then we're looking for longs. Right? If this market suddenly gets exuberant and is able to base above here, then we're looking for longs into previous week value area high if we really want to get going. But we've got liquidity up here into 820. So I'm open to playing both sides, because I know that we're in a choppy rotational market, and It is a see money, take money environment. We talk about the difference between being in a trending market and a see money, take money environment. My mate's on stream and messaging me. Ty's probably like, chill. Yeah, Ty, they come at me like that. You should see some of the messages I get in my inbox, buddy. It happens. Delta, Jack. So delta is, I use delta for offside delta. So if we're in a trending market, you want to see delta in the direction that you're trending. If you're looking for a reversal, if we're in a range rotating market, you're looking for delta to get caught. So if you think about this 1 minute candle, as we came into previous day point of control, where bears are defending, what happened there? It was a big drive up. But if you look inside this candle, all right, if you use footprint and delta inside that candle, I can tell you that at the highs we caught buyers. And if we look at Bookmap, you'll probably be able to see it here as well. Let me just zoom out a little bit. Yes. Okay. Can you see the Bookmap on the right-hand side of the screen? All right. Look at the top of this, the very top of that candle. Instead of seeing big sellers, what you saw is market buyers. 31 lot, 136 lot, 42 lot, 38 lot, 7 lot. We trapped delta at that highs. I'm going to have to zoom out so I can see my footprint. All right, the very high, there was 118 delta offside, and then point of control was buy side heavy, and it was 343 lot at 640. So we know currently buyers are stuck above 40 and 41, right? Because the delta was buy side delta at the highs, but we moved lower. So that's telling you you've got aggressive market orders trying to buy the highs, and you've got passive sell orders selling up there. So sellers are adding liquidity here. Market buyers are trying to force it up. They can't get through, so they stop out and we move lower. And then we get the move in delta. You won't see it in this chart here today, but if you're using footprint or Bookmap like we just talked about, you can actively see it. Hopefully that makes sense. Guys, that guy comes on like pretty much every video trying to talk shit. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. All right, still inside the range. Still a chance to explore up here and look for shorts if we fail, and still a chance to target this. But the only thing I would say is the way we built liquidity, if we get through this, there are stops to go and be had up there. So I don't want to get too aggressive. Not looking to get too aggressive, but let's see. We're still just in a range. This is what I expected today. Lots of chop. Give you a readout on the mag. Tesla 1.60% down. Nvidia 2.66% down. Microsoft 0.21% down. Meta 1% down. Google a third of a percent down. Amazon 0.10% up, and Apple 1.65% up. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that, Troy. I'd say that yes, bank holiday will probably have an effect on volume, but you know the NSE is open. The stock exchanges are open. People are actively trading. It's just that we are in balance. So I think even if it wasn't a bank holiday today, because of where we are, this was likely. Because of where we are, if we think about, go to an hourly chart. Right, think about where we are. Think about the pivots. Right, who got stuck where? Sellers got stuck at the lows. We gapped up. Yesterday we rotated. Buyers got stuck above here on a weekly. Right, so we have supply here, demand here, and we're just trading at the edge of this supply. So it might be that they need to come back down here to see if there's a stronger buy opportunity. And that's why I wouldn't necessarily want to be a buyer at the highs. If we break above and hold this, then there's a buy opportunity for a continuation. You're starting to see sell pressure coming into the market now, like we talked about. I think you're going to get that move that I was looking for. So I'll be looking, if you're short, into this pivot here, 70s, and then runners below that. So covers into 70s, runners below that, and you look good. I think you're going to get it, folks. I think you look good here. So letting go of that New York Open now, which is key. Apple having a day, 1.76% up. Woof, relative strength continues in Apple. It's absolutely amazing. Here you go. So you've almost tagged that in 70s. I think you pretty much tagged it. If you flush through that, here you go. You will get continuation downside. So TP1 here, like we talked about, and now hold for previous day value area low if you can on the runner. All right, so just like that. That's what we were talking about. Here's the 70s taken, and now you're looking for all the way down into here, folks. All the way down into here. So, Mr. Batman, you can't watch this anymore, unfortunately. But if you did, I gave you edge. And instead, you wanted to pick a fight. What a moron. Okay, so TP1 hit, liquidating these guys here. You got a bit further into the higher time frame algo. So we're going to go look at top right, liquidity building phase. Where does the market build liquidity? Between lower time frame algo, higher time frame algo. This is your liquidity building phase of the market, right? And we've been in this phase for a little while now, all right, since we dropped below it, right? You can see it getting tighter and tighter and tighter. This is how the market builds liquidity once it's making a decision what it wants to do higher time frame. You can sit in your runners now. No, Richard, unfortunately not. I got knocked out and then, again, like yesterday, too busy teaching you, but it's fine. I'm comfortable for the day as it is. I can always rejoin back in. That actually offered a decent rejoin, but we just took the liquidity, so you want to be careful here. But there is a chance to move into 500s here. All right, 505 is previous day value area low. That's your target for your runner. If we start reclaiming inside your opening range, which is this white line, right? We're rejecting opening range. If we start reclaiming inside opening range, then what will this be? It will be a liquidity grab and a trade back inside. All right. If we grab this and we reclaim opening range and we reclaim this, we'll chop in here again. All right. And you want to be careful if we chop in here after stealing liquidity, because we'll have shoulder, head, shoulder, and they can revisit. All right, so you would want to see this protected and definitely these shelves here protected. All right, if you don't see this volume protected, we will drift back upside on a squeeze. If shorts came flying in at the lows, which I'm not seeing yet. I'm not seeing shorts at the lows yet, but just be aware. So that's your main objective done. Your runners only now to see if you can get down to previous day value area low. But you had a good trade there, folks. You had a really nice trade there. If you can get down to previous day value area low, you are absolutely laughing in this market. Yes, exactly, Green Otter. That's why it's nice to have multiple contracts on. So if you're trading minis and you don't want to put another mini on, you're better off going to micros and adding more size on micros and scaling out, because one extra micro for another 100 points is obviously another $200 just on one micro. So if you had an extra, 5 micros, an extra $1,000 for that 100-point move. And, from New York Open 605s down to that value, it is 100 points. But yeah, well managed. You're seeing lots of action start to take place here. The buyers are trying to absorb these aggressive sellers. Exactly, contorted. Yeah, exactly. Now you're taking payouts. Sizing down is key, and then just holding for the proper move. Once you have conviction, you can hold for the full move. The liquidity on the book here, they are trying to absorb here. I'm not convinced these buyers are going to do a good enough job, but let's see. Vic's starting to find a bid. Too late for me to enter here. We're holding that high time frame algo. Let's just see. Let's see. See if they can protect opening range. See where we got thin here. Sellers would want to protect that, because otherwise we're going to drift straight up towards New York and view up. So this area of thin liquidity, sellers will want to protect that if at all possible. Apple is absolutely gunning, incredible. 1.75% up now. I mean, I'm happy. I'm long from 202, so I've got no problem with it. But we talked about this yesterday. Every time, this is the trend at the moment. Every time the chips get weak, every time there's weakness in Nvidia, SMCI, AMD, etc., the rotation, the safe bet is into Apple. That's what you're seeing the funds doing. I've got no doubt about it. If you look at every day Nvidia's red, Apple's up. Every single day, that is what's happening. They're looking for downside pressure here. They're not getting it. They're looking for a flush. They want that value area low. That's what they want. It's just whether they can get enough bulls involved here. There is some heavy selling coming here at the lows. Just be careful. They need a snap here now, the sellers. Again, I'm not in anything. It's too late for me to join. But if you guys are in, just manage your positions. As long as you've paid yourself underneath 70, you look good, and then you have runners for the low of day. Here's the drive up to retest where we got thin. Remember, sellers will want to protect this up to 94. They won't want it to trade through 94 here, the sellers. This is where they took control of the market. New York open. Drive down. Imbalance in here. The true imbalance is here. It's not actually above. They will want to protect this. Failing to protect this will allow a squeeze up into this area. This is not what sellers want now. I'll be very cautious on this. Even on Bookmap, you can see big buying coming in here. Here's the look below and fail and the reclaim. All right, so starting to reclaim, and if they want to now attack the other side of range, okay, if this is a look below, reclaim. If they want to attack the other side of range, they can, and they still have unfinished business up here. This is why you see money, take money in this environment. You hold the runner, and if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, this is what you get. This is why you cannot enter at lows. All right, so it's why entry in a rotating market is so key. That was the best entry. I was late on it, looking for this move. Stopped out. That's fine. Because why did I stop out? Because these can very easily happen in rotating markets. Because all you need is too many shorts to come in at here, where we've now just built volume. They get stuck. They get forced to cover in this low liquidity, and then look what's happening. Up we go. All right, because we're playing rotation. Just look left. It's just rotation. There's no trend here, is there? Even on the lower time frame, we're protecting higher time frame, we're going to lower time frame. These are the algo lines. All right, once we get through this, if flow zones start bidding through this, we can start developing a stronger move up potentially. Okay, Amazon now green, Google now green. Again, no position for me. One and done so far today. Nice, Tonio, good work. I agree, B. Like, I didn't have a limit order set up here. I wanted to see us drive in and fail. But you can see how important the volume from yesterday was. You probably wouldn't have seen that too easily without volume. Because your pivots you would have been looking at were probably all the way up at sort of 750 otherwise. So these areas here, these thick liquidity areas, were important, and they were thick not just yesterday, they were thick last week. Yeah, just flat at the moment. VIX starting to flush down underneath previous day low, and the range rotation continues. You want to be very careful in a market doing this. So back to value area high on the session. Squeeze through this will be to 24-hour VWAP. Squeeze through that would be to opening range high. That would be a previous day point of control. Squeeze through that would be previous day value area high. Have to be willing to play both sides in these markets. Yeah, quite right, Peter. Thank you. New H1, new H4 coming. We're about to close at the high on the H4. Look at the last 4 hours candles. We're approaching the high of that H4. And the next H4 high will be around about previous day value area high, previous day point of control. So the rotation. Nice, Adam. Good work. Yeah, all of those who took the squeeze back up. Nice work. See, strong buying came soon as we got through this level here and they didn't protect it. The strong buying came. This is because all these shorts down here, look at the delta. Heavy sell side delta. There is your compression, flips to buy side delta and volume. Increased volume, buy side delta. These are these shorts getting stopped out. Buyers join in. And now probably back to the midpoint of the range, and then it'll have to make its decision. Can it hold a bid here, or is this just another look above and sellers come right back down to the bottom side of the range? Range being developed is here. This is your edge for now in the New York session. You do not have a lot to play for. So if you're long now, you'd want to see it protect this edge, 98s. Really, you'd like to see it protect 605, and you'd be partialing out into 630, so you've got a 30-point move there, and then if you get lucky, you get up into previous day's value area. But it would need to protect these areas here. Failing to do that, we just drift right away back down. No, Adam got him. Adam got him, didn't he? I think he got him. ES is running more stops, is it? Let me have a look. Well, ES missed that 35, didn't it? No, it wasn't me, Tony. It wasn't me. So ES maybe trying to get up for a gap fill into 57s. Yeah, I just think we're in range rotation here. Lower your expectations. Oh, Miguel got him. There you go. Thanks, Miguel. Got him. Okay, good hold there for the bulls like we talked about. Back into New York VWAP and the New York Open. All the time bulls hold this. All right, it's not an entry I would take, but if you are long, all the time bulls hold this, they will try and take out this high and come and drift into here. Gap fill is up here. Bulls fail this, then we just do this for longer and longer and longer. We're at 85-point range on the whole day, even with the extremes, right? So understand that. Why did we know it was going to be an inside day, a choppy day today? Because it was an inside day, because we're inside previous value. Jack, you're saying you're short? I mean, I'm not really looking at ES. Let me have a look. Well, you're above VWAP. You're starting to base above the opening range. And if it wants to go for gap fill, it can up to 57s. So I would just be careful. I'm not seeing, I mean, you can play edge to edge, but I'm not seeing anything screaming short set up there yet. But do what you got to do, my friend. I just think this needs to chop around more and more and more today. I think we close the day inside. I would doubt we'll close the day outside, but let's see. Nice, Jack. Yeah, as long as you're controlling your risk, buddy, you're good. You play your setup. If you see your setup there, you should absolutely attack it. Go back to yes. You're starting to see that fade. These are the key areas that you're into now, I would say. 45s. If you start seeing weakness under 42s, you've got liquidity. You can potentially target at 35s. But where's previous day? The problem is that IB high yesterday, 36s. You're gapping up over that. 36s to 23s is where bulls will try and hold, I would say, for ES. So just be aware of that based on yesterday. I haven't even got the volume up, but I can just see the pivots. So just be careful. Make sure you're getting a piece out into those if you do get a flush into them. Okay, NQ coming back down into its imbalances. So we traded straight up through this gap here. Same gap here. All right, same gap down, same gap up. Still very thin liquidity in here. And the rotation continues. Same, Peter. Yeah, I'm not going to be hanging around too much longer. I'll probably give it 25 minutes, let that IB set. But if the range is small and we've made our money, like I said, I've got that course to try and record for you guys at the moment. So if my time can be better spent doing that, I will do that. Google back red on the day. Relative strength here in Apple and Amazon. Apple is giving a little bit back, still 1.22% up, but it was 1.80% up at one point. Amazon 0.22% up, Google 0.17% down, Meta 1% down, Microsoft 0.3% down, Nvidia 2.85% down, Tesla 1.77% down. Here comes the flush back down towards the lows where we just found a bid out of. The market will need to start making some decisions. This is where we found a bid. This is where we got a bit thicker. This is the thin volume. And the rotation is just continuing here. Jack, you look good if you keep failing under VWAP and underneath New York Open. You're right at New York Open here. If they keep selling this, if you can get a continuation, you need to, here you go. Here's your continuations coming. You're going to get that move now. Just make sure you're locking some in. Here's the heaviness in this market. Wow. So they just ran all those stops. That was big selling. Someone got caught. There's big selling on that move. Just be careful because you're at the edge of range now. So as long as you're locking something in. We got very, very thin there at sort of 68 and above. So sellers would need to protect that. Otherwise, full reclaim, we go right back into the range again. But potentially that move down to previous day value area low now coming. Big battle here at the low of day. I was trying to step in here. I would say 68 to 80 now key. Sellers, if they can defend 68 to 80, it's where we got very, very thin. Then we can rotate down to this area here. It's where they're trying to get to is the edge of yesterday. If they can. 68 to 80 is the key level. Otherwise, straight back up, full reclaim, and same thing again. Not wild. I've not got time to go over something like that today. Just there's tons of free education on my YouTube. I'd suggest you watch it. It's all there for you. So 68 to 80 still the key level. 68 to 80. Sellers need to defend 68 to 80 on that imbalance. If they do that, they will be looking for that previous day value area low. If they fail to defend it, then the rotation will go straight back up inside current day's value and all the sellers at the lows will get chopped up again. So here's the push up towards that 68. Just got through it by a tad. VIX spiked up and gave it all back. Here's the test of 80. And if they get through this, the squeeze is back on. And this is how we see rotational markets. This is exactly how they move. It ain't pretty. One side to the other side, one side to the other side. Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat until one side has given up. And maybe they don't give up. We can do it. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised to see us do it the whole day. We can easily do these for a whole day. Back to 70s. If they hold this, then sellers will be in trouble. They need that flush back down for a new low because we've just traded up to 80. Sellers will want a new low and a trade down to 500s, like we talked about, those 500s. 68 to 80 is the levels. We're trading right in between them at the moment. Repriced it all. Sellers failing to get followed through downside. They will get stuck here. If we reclaim 80s here, they will get stuck. And they will be in big trouble because we're going to go back into the range. So all the sellers down here who shorted the lows, if they don't protect this low volume node again, they're going to get stuck. Just like here, the same thing's going to happen, all right? Same thing. Let me draw for them, please. Just like here, same thing can happen. Just like here, same thing can happen. They have to protect this, the sellers, for this move that down to value. If they don't, the squeeze is on, all right? This can still happen in a rotating market. Very, very easily still happen. Look at this rotation. Straight back up. Google gone green again now. Amazon gone green again now. That's why I say be very, very careful. Lots of buyers got stuck in that last push up, by the way, into 600. That was the last big push. Lots of buyers got stuck there. I'm still not convinced. Like this is nasty, 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 nasty. People are going to get hurt. 100% people are getting hurt in here. So I'm quite happy just making the money we made this morning. And okay, yeah, missed some opportunities, but I understand that this is a dangerous market. Now we're bidding above 80. And if we hold above 80, shorts are going to get caught. So shorts need the move under 68. They cannot afford for us to hold above 80. They need the move under 68 for a move back down to previous day value area low. They're not getting it right now. They're trying. Watching these 68s. This is key now. Still absorbing. We tested right into 70 there. So that old imbalance being tested and held. I wouldn't feel comfortable sitting short in this right now, put it that way. Seeing too much absorption down there. It might come, but it's not come yet. Nvidia's still selling, which is hilarious. Rejecting that low volume node for now, but VWAP and New York just above. It's messy. It's very, very messy here. Like I said, I don't think there's a huge amount of edge in this market. '68's the key level. If they let go of 68s, we go back to low of day, I would say. Buyers right now caught above 87s, 88s. Where are those sellers caught? Sellers caught with size under 60. Here we go. Here's the test of 68s again. This is key. This is the battle. If they let go of 68s, we can go back down to previous day value area low. It's a big, big, big level down there. No worries, but yeah, it's like we always talk about. It's fine to just play the days which are high probability. If it's not a high probability day, no point forcing way into it, you know? They're still holding 68 or attempting to. If we flush through this, then low of day and back down to previous day value area low as possible. So here we go. Here's the attempt to go low of day. High time frame algo tag here. Sellers are stepping in here. They're trying to be aggressive for that move down to previous day value area low. That's what they would like to see happen. This is the edge of where we just created volume. So expanding volume down to here. this is the new battleground. Here, here, here. Above this, bulls will try and take control. Below this, sellers will try and complete this rotation down. We are not in a trend day, so all of this is irrelevant. We are inside value, inside day. We're expecting chop, right? Just anything else is irrelevant right now. Feels like market wants to rotate, but can't. Maybe because of the strength from Apple, I don't know. But it feels like it wants to rotate lower and currently can't. It's not finding that rotation back down to value at the moment. It might come right to the edge right now of this volume shelf. Let go of this and potential snap down to here is possible. Watching the book. So basically this right here is the level. And if they get continuation, they're going to try and come into this. See if they react to sort of 60s here. If they reject this box, we can probably move down to value. Big if, because sellers did get stuck at those lows. We've got to be aware of that. VIX is finding a bid. Back inside the box, reclaiming box, no trade. No trade available, back to the other side we go. Very much like yesterday, as it trades through the volume transitions, basically. How am I seeing 68? Bookmap and footprint. You won't see it on a candlestick. Okay, buyers got caught there again trying to bid back over 68. No bid over 68 yet. You can just call it 70 if you want, basically. That's your over-under. That's what they're battling over at the moment. Sellers trying to come in here. They want that previous day value area low. It's what they're trying to get the force down for. It's just whether they can actually get it. Here we go. Here's the look to the edge of value. They're trying to get down into here. This is their game. It's what they're attempting to do right now. Can they get follow through now that we're rejecting 68? Buyers trying to step up at lower day. If they can't step up, we will get a flush, and I'd imagine we get that move. So really, really close here to getting it. Buyers so far absorbing that lower day. VIX still trying to find a bid, moving upside. It is above previous day low and above New York Open, but not above its 5-minute flow zones yet on the VIX, and the chop continues. Where's my pen? There we go. All right, so observing this, failing this, sellers are in control here. They got stuck here though. So sellers need to protect this for this move. If sellers don't get a breakdown under here, they will get caught again. And those are the rotations. Remember, we're just trading inside of yesterday's value. Your location for a short is not ideal down here. Your best location for a short was up here today. But they are trying to find follow through to the downside here. They're desperate to find a breakdown here. Nvidia is continuing to sell. There's large selling coming in here. If they don't get a break here, they're going to get really caught. This is heavy, heavy selling here. Big market orders. So they've literally just put it all on the line and said, you need to break now. And if they don't get broken now, they're going to get squeezed out. They're looking for that move to previous day value. 100%, that's what they're trying to do. Here it comes. So new lower day. Rejecting 68. Can they get down to previous day value area low now? And if we get through previous day value area low, we can think about filling some of the gap, because remember, we did gap up. Nice follow through here. Big selling coming in at 40. It's good follow through. If you're in this short, you know, take some TP here and then hold for value area low, 505 basically. is where you want to get to. 505 is where you want to get to. So it's starting to reject volume now. Look above the volume, fail. Sellers controlled this low volume node, rotated the other. This peaked a bit higher than you would have wanted, but again, it's 68, so that was the level. All right, only because there was delta being trapped there. So they rejected 68s here now. Again, I'll go over all of that in the course. Otherwise, you wouldn't have seen that this level here is a big level, but it was. This is your target now, folks, for anyone that is short. That is your target. Pay yourself along the way, okay? Because it will be choppy conditions. We expect crazy markets when we do stuff like this. You must pay yourself on the way. Full forward got some of that, but choppy, yeah, very, very choppy, but very, very choppy, I agree. Buyers coming back in now looking to fill this seller up at 570. Let's see if he's legit up here. He's just pulled his order, so he's not even legit. Took my shorts from the flow zone retest off the second sell signal. Here, that's a good short. If they reclaim this now, it will be a problem. All right, remember, they're trying to complete this. If they reclaim this and build volume here, they come and test the next node. So this is the problem at the moment. You have tightening ranges. Right, we're looking to expand range back into here, which is still inside a previous day's range. If we zoom out, right, this is where we found bids yesterday. So they're trying to get down to here, but they don't have to. If they want to protect this, they will protect it. So unfortunately, like the sell location, we want it to be sellers in here for that move. We want to be buyers in here for that move until it proves otherwise. So testing back into this volume area again now. Just make sure you're seeing money and taking money, okay? Please make sure you see money, take money. Are there equal lows on the H1? No, we did actually trade through it yesterday. It's not an equal low. That's why we turned around there yesterday. We took that liquidity out. Vic's starting to try and find a bid here. It's trying to reclaim 5-minute flow zones, but still not convinced. Not convinced. I just think we go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Remember, at some point, the buyers will want to come back in. If you look at the H1 high from 11 a.m. yesterday, we've just tagged it. Right, so we filled that whole, for you ICT traders, you'd call it a BPR, right? That thin liquidity. We've traded through it now. Or what candle is that? The 12 a.m. candle, or the 12 o'clock candle yesterday, back upside. We've filled that whole thing down to the 11 a.m. Let me just pull you over. There we go. All right, so we've filled. Remember, we built structure here yesterday and here, and this was thin, and we've just filled it. All right, so buyers will come in anywhere from where we are now to here and the low. All right, buyers will want to protect this. If we're going to go in rotation, looked above, failed, rotate down to here. Try and hold or look below, fail, rotate back inside. This is your rotational zone. Same as we talked about first thing this morning. We can think about trends if we get under it and reject for a bigger move into the gap. We can think about trends if we get over it and hold for a bigger move into previous week value. But right now, our location for shorts has just got awful and we're not having long momentum yet. So you're either managing a short or you're waiting for a long opportunity. All right, this guy's been spoofing all morning, so I'm not even worried about him at 590. He's a spoofer. back to test opening range low value, that kind of area. So here, 84 key now. If they reclaim this level, then they drift back up and test this next block. Okay, because we're thin in here. So sellers want to protect that, buyers want to trade through it. Boy. Here comes the squeeze from the buyers. Remember, they were caught over 84s on that last move up here. This is all buyers were caught in this level here. So if they let them out, we can move higher. But there was big selling down here. You can see big selling at the low of day. Then now not getting the follow through where they wanted. Buyers starting to protect it, coming back into low volume. And we continue to rotate back and forwards, building out structure and volume to be used later in the week. No doubt about it. To be used later in the week. So protection of value so far. Reattempt at the lows, no follow through under it. Traded straight through that last imbalance again. Diminishing edge as we move lower at the moment, I would say. See how the market's quietening down now. It needs to make its decision soon. And we're back into that chop zone. So this grey area is basically chop zone where we're building liquidity, and the next chop zone is up here. We can shrink this down a little bit. This is your next chop zone. And then down here. Apple holding this market up for sure. Nvidia now 3.30% down. Apple 1.92% up. Is holding the market up. It's doing a good job right now. Like I said, every time chips are weak, rotation's going into Apple. I don't know why, but that is what they're doing. They obviously see it as a safe bet, maybe because they've got less exposure with the chip names at the moment. That is certainly what's happening. So can they get value area low? That's what they're looking to do here. Back towards this low of day again. Protection of lower day so far. Value area of low sitting down at 505. Is that right? Yes, 505. They're looking for this breakdown to get to it. It's what they want to do. They just want to see a breakdown to value area low. They're desperate to see down into here right now. And this passive seller keeps walking down, now offering 575, but he has been a spoofer all morning, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's a buyer and he lifts. If we search for his liquidity, I wouldn't be surprised if he lifts the moment we get up there. So I'm watching him on the book. He lifts this offer and we drift higher through him. I think he might be a buyer who's spoofing the sell. And again, big selling at those lows, and we didn't move lower. Seems to be the theme at the moment. Again, no position, just that one and done so far, just waiting now. we know the target. This is the target that they want to aim for. And if they get through this, you know, there's tons of room to the gap down to 300 if they really go into a sell day. I'm not really sure we're going to do that. I think we're going to come into here and see if bids come in. GC, yeah, GC back to 4-1s. Still not too bad on the day, only 0.36% down. Not too bad. Right, initial balance now set, folks. So you're thinking about IB plays, IB trend outside of IB, and rotation days. Very possible rotation day, isn't it? Given where we're coming into, how close to those levels we are. But just think about that. You're getting very, very close to that value area low at this point. Very, very, very close. New low of day now printed. No drive through it. So literally tagged IB or created the IB and instantly traded upside. No real big sweep, no drive into here. And we're creating more volume node here into 52s now. So they've sort of expanded this to here, I'd say. A little bit thin in between 50s to 60s, but that's where they're playing at the moment. So back towards the 50s, and if they get through here, they can quickly move to 60s because there's a bit of a flush there. And if they protect value area low, and we trade, if we trade under IB to value area low and they protect it and we trade back into IB, so I've got to silence this. UK people, man. Go away. Let me work. Yeah, so sorry, as I was trying to say, if we go into value area low and we find a bid and reclaim IB, then that would be a look below and fail, won't it? So just be aware of that. And these are the areas where we found bids yesterday. We're trading into the areas, remember, where we found bids yesterday. These are congested areas. We're very near the 20-day now as well. So the mean, we're at the mean. So your short location here is awful. In fact, your location for anything right now is not good. It's not good. So hopefully you're just managing a position or your cash. Back towards low of day. Can they get acceptance through to this value area low? That's clearly what they're looking for. 505s is what they're looking for. New low of day and absorption instantly on the tape. Big selling down there and no move lower again. This is what we're seeing. Selling at the lows and we're not moving lower. You have to note that. Have to note that. They need it to get to value area low. That's clearly what their exit is down to 500s. And if they can get under that, great. But that's what they're looking for the exit. If they don't get their exit, it means there's a buyer on the tape absorbing everything from the same level as yesterday. Low of day again, IB again. Can they get that break? They want that break. They are trying. Here they go. They're attempting. Still seeing absorption. Big selling down here. Still no break lower. Here we go. Now it's starting. Can they get all the way down to 505s? That's your cover point down into this blue box. Sorry, I can't talk here. So strong selling down. You're almost there now. Look, here you go. They're almost there. So this is the start of it. So I have it 505s. Is this the same here? I have this on at 505s for Ninja Trader. So I'd say from 5. What's this at? 505 to 591. 505 to 591. Okay. Those are your cover points. There's a slight discrepancy between my volume profile on Ninja Trader and TradingView. That's all I'm saying. 15-point discrepancy. So make sure you're covering some into these low 500s. If you're short, they're almost there. And if we get under previous day value, okay, then we're thinking about those lows. 552 was low of the New York session yesterday. Gap into the gap will be a move into 300s. All right, so if they're going to look for lower prices, 300s is possible. You must be covering some now. There you go. So 505 tagged now, I think. So just so you understand, on TradingView, on NinjaTrader, I am here like this. All right, so there's just a slight discrepancy between the two. Don't know if you guys have the same thing. You can see some covers starting to happen there. So outside of IB, we're in trend lower scenario, but we've just hit TPs really. It's a shame they didn't want to give us a better short location. That one pop and that was it. It's a shame they couldn't have given us a nice short location up here, which would have been A+. They're starting to build this out more and more, so we've got to just be careful here because this is getting quite big. Here you go. So hopefully some of you took some of these shorts. Battling away here. They are battling away here. Got in at 72, but cashed out some of the position that back and forward with the IB holding. It's still good though. If you got sort of 72s down towards 30s, I think that's a solid move. In a market like this, it's decent, right? Value area low here. Right, and on TradingView, your value area low is 92. But for me, it was 705, which is what we're trading into. We have a passive buyer here at 500. Just a limit order stuck out there. So now, really, continuation will need to see a rejection of initial balance. The problem is, right, let's say we reject this. How much further have we got to go? We're just into condensed areas where buyers have been stepping up. So unless they want to come down for this gap, we're running out of room. If we reclaim, all right, if this is a look below, tag this, reclaim this, be very, very careful for this compression and squeeze back up, all right, back into here. Nice, Jack. Great work, mate. That's a really good short. Let me have a look where you are at now. You have a little bit more room to catch up with. So you've had relative strength. So you're still at previous day's IB high. If you fail that, there's a pivot for you. 22s, 13s. And I'd say value area low is probably somewhere around 800s. You're still holding previous day's initial balance high, just a heads up. Nice, Priska. Right, starting to see some covers off value area low here. How we react into this volume and initial balance now becomes key for what we're going to do next. Are we going to continue? Are they going to look to drive lower, or is this a look below and fail and we're going to go back into current day range? Remember, we're still just trading inside. All of this move is still inside previous day. We're still an inside bar all the way. Where's previous day? Where's my green? Here. All the way down to 260s. We are an inside bar. A long, long way away. And as long as we hold previous day value, we're inside previous day value. We can look below it, reclaim it, and we're still going to go inside previous day value. The New York low is the edge of this blue box, just so we remember. All right, so New York low into 450s. But I'd say the main objective was to go from value to value, which we did. Think about overnight. Looked above, failed value, failed previous week point of control, failed daily point of control, came back down to value area low. Now we're exploring this area to see, okay, buyers, are you going to hold this value area? If so, we're going to go back inside. If you're not going to hold this value area, then we're going to keep exploring lower, searching for new value. Or new fair value, I should say. So value area low right here, right now. You can see they're juggling around here for a little minute. 500's big level. You don't want to short the lows here, that's for sure. Worst location of the day, low of the day, and value from yesterday. You don't want to be starting a short down here. That's how you're going to get smoked. Even if it moves lower, all that's going to do is reinforce bad habits. You don't short low of day. You need some structure here. So retest of initial balance coming. Low vol through 25. So through 25, they can potentially squeeze up to 50s. And then that would be a look below initial balance and fail. And then if they reclaim volume at 50s, then we're going to go to the other side of this. Right. So if they reclaim 50s, we're probably going to go 80s. If they keep rejecting 50s, then there's a chance to move lower. Love one more trade, but I don't love rotational markets like this. Inside bars, never fun. Very easy to get caught. Okay, bathroom break, coffee refill, all in one go. Be right back. Don't go anywhere. Smash that like button. I would like to do some giveaways today. She won't want a puppy. It's the last thing she'll want. Okay. Did this guy up here pull? No, I think he actually filled, did he? Yeah, he filled. Okay, so like we said, it's gone from value area low back into that volume. Okay, back into this volume, this grey box. Yeah, Latif, like, if you like them, it's all personal, isn't it? Like, I know lots of people love rotational markets. That's fine. If you like them, that's great. I prefer rotational markets if they're building liquidity outside of previous day range. Like yesterday was nice and simple. This becomes a little bit messy, I think, but hey, if you like it, that's all that really matters, my friend. If you can make money from it, remember, our job is just to make money. And for me, I just know what I'm good at, what I trade really well. I try and stick to that where possible. Like I always talk about, hardest way to get around a golf course as a beginner is to try and use all the clubs. Easiest way is to choose the club that you're good at and just use that the whole way around. If it takes you, 5 shots on a par 3 because you use an 8 iron, who cares? Use the 8 iron, because if you get a driver out, you're going to take 10 shots. So that's kind of my mentality. This volume here still holding, and we had lots of buying into that shelf and they just failed. So I'd say from IB to here is key. So from 32 to 50 is key. Reclaim 50s, they're going to go for a slingshot to 80s very, very quickly. If they keep failing 50, they're going to look for lower prices. Even though we're back inside the IB, that's what they're going to look for. So yeah, well done. All of those who got the short and covered into that value area low, you can see the importance of it. Very, very important level. It's a clear cover point. This is what's telling you, hey, we think we're in rotation. I just zoom out. Here's yesterday's balance. Failed above. Came back down inside. Failed the top area. Every push this morning. Failed. Trade to other side of balance. Now maybe trade up a bit. Test this area out. Fail there. Okay, maybe trade down again. Right? They're just going to keep going from level to level to level to level. All they're trying to do is find fair value. They want to just see what's fair value on the day. Who's stuck? Where are they stuck? Do we want to offer lower prices or do we want to bid up? Another drive into 50 there failed. Another 50 attempt failed here. They will try and take over here for a new low if they keep failing 50s. If they reclaim 50s, there's a squeeze straight to 80s like we talked about. What's the mag doing? Bit all over the shop right now. So they're trying to hold this higher low versus 25 now. Like I said, if they reclaim 50s, I could see a slingshot to 80s very, very quickly. And that will be the end of this downtrend. Think about this. Oh. All right, so sellers need to protect this or this move here. If they can't, and this happens, you're going to get a break above and a squeeze. Both of these possible right now. Sellers currently in control all the time. 50s are staying heavy. VIX still looking good for a move higher. So my bias technically is downside. It's just I don't have location for this. But if you're still managing, break of the low here probably sees some bigger pressure. So IB and 50s all the time, those are being sold into sellers in control. The moment that changes, lower time frame buyers take control for the rotation. Very, very simple. And locations you can look at, well, other than what we're in right now, let's zoom out here. Looks good for lower at the moment. I'd be looking at these, all right, 5 days, this low from yesterday. If we take that out, these pivots, this level here, 350s, they'd have to get very, very weak in this market, but they could. This is the top of the gap from Sunday. So if you're still managing your position, maybe you get lucky. Maybe they do a bigger move today than people were ready for. We will see. Enough aggression for previous day low. I mean, previous day low is very far away, like we talked about. I'm not convinced. Look how far down previous day low is. It's in the gap. It's in the gap. Previous New York low, 450s, yes, potentially 450s. But to ask for previous day low feels like a big ask at the moment. It's possible. We're not going to rule it out, but it feels like a long way away right now. Here's your current lower day test. Still some absorption on the tape here at 500. Big level at 500. Remember, this is where we bid off yesterday. You do not want a new short position here. What's the importance of focusing on previous day's value area high, value area low? That is the edge of a balanced range, right? So when we're trading within range, those are your edges, all right? And if we're going to play from one side to the other, that's where you're playing from. You're playing from the previous day's like value high to the previous day's value area low, which is what we've done today. When we're in balance, that's what we expect. Maybe we search outside of balance for a bit to see if we create new balance. But when we're inside balance, those are the edges. That's why we trade from one side to the other. If we're in a trending market, we expect to print over, right? So if we were in a bullish market today, we'd be looking for a move above previous day's value area high, above previous day's point of control, to hold that on dips for a drive higher, because that's where volume was created yesterday for moves higher. Value areas are S&R areas. That's all they are based on volume. That's literally all they are. It's all S&R. Anyone who says otherwise, it's bollocks. The whole market is support and resistance. It's just using volume for Confluence. No worries, mate. No worries. The downtrend still intact. Sellers looking for a sell through these levels right now. Every time we've approached this, they've been absorbed. They're looking for a sell through these levels right now. We're sat right on the edge of yesterday. If we get through here, yes, 450 is possible. That would be your New York low. If they sell through here, New York low from yesterday's 450s. That is possible. They have to protect these levels here, 30s to 50s, to get that move. Failing to do that, if they do a little look below and a fail soon, you're getting pretty tight here, right? So sellers, they need this. If they don't get this and they get something like this, right? Think about how much selling will happen in here, looking for this, and if they get caught, where do we go? IB reclaim, VWAP, right? And then into this thin node probably. So definitely no long yet. You're managing your short position, looking for ultimate target 450 if you can get it. But just be careful, it's all I'm saying. Because if they don't get what they want, they will get stuck. There's huge selling at the lows there again. And if they don't get the follow through here, this is where the type of move where they get stuck. They need to see follow through probably to previous day low at this point is what they're looking for, I think. 450s. So if you're in this, you look good. 500, big psychological level. If they let go of 500, maybe you can get those 450s, another 50 points down. Would be nice for you if you can get that. There's a big exchange down there. 252 lot caught offside at the lows so far. All right, so big market order. Probably, to be honest, it's probably a buyer who just got stopped out. All right, so in here, there's a 250 lot seller, market seller, and we haven't moved lower from him. So he's currently stuck. And we're still in a downtrend. But if we start moving away from him, this is where they get stuck, a bit like yesterday. But currently still outside of IB, still heading down. This now, I think, is the target. The 450s feels like the target. So back to that same level where that seller just was. They need follow through under here at this point. And they need 450s, I would say. 500 sort of under over. But that's what they're looking for. They're looking for yesterday's low. They're looking for yesterday's low. But this is the other value area. So this is TradingView's value area. This is NinjaTrader's value area. You've hit both of those now. The only thing left to look for is 450s. And if these sellers don't get that, they will get stuck. There's a lot of aggressive selling at these lows at the moment. Here's the start of an attempt of a squeeze here. They're trying to get back through where these sellers just tried to take control. We're building out more volume down here now. So there's like another block here now. All right, so sellers will want to protect this block here now. Back up to the block. And if they get through that, they'll squeeze to the other side of the block, and those sellers at the lows will get caught. I have the flow zone indicators, but I lost the TradingView layouts. Now I can't find them. If they've gone, you're going to have to rebuild your layouts. Don't think there's a way of recovering them. I don't know. You have to save your layouts on TradingView. So if you haven't saved it, or if for some reason it's deleted it, there's no way of getting it back. So top right-hand corner, you want to be saving your layouts, saving them under a name and stuff, you know. Okay, back to the 500s, reclaiming 500s here. Very, very tight here. Sellers want the 450s. Buyers want to reclaim and squeeze these sellers out. Biggest selling down here was at 499. So basically these 500s, if he gets caught and all these sellers on this walk down get caught, there is a squeeze potential back up. If the sellers remain in control versus this grey box, they will try and get 450s. That's as simple as I can put it right now for you guys. They're trying to get to 450s. That's what they would like to do. They want to get to 450s, these sellers. Here's the break. Can they get to 450s? Is there any follow through? Seller's still in control. No reclaim of that grey box. This is the target. So if you're still in this, this is your final target. I would not let it. If it starts bidding through here and holding this, it's going to come to that. So if all you guys who are short here, don't let it find a higher low in this box to come back up, I would say. If you were new money short, which I would not be, you would short here risking that. This is your target. So far, looks good. Looks good for that move. Seeing follow through now. It's slow. There's no doubt about it. Like, we're not moving like we have the last few weeks. I mean, your IB on the day was, I can't even see, is that 130 points? Is that right? Yeah, 130 points. It's not bad. Giving NVIDIA a chance to close the weekend gap. Let me have a look. Not far away. I'd watch this spike high here. 91.42s. Otherwise, yeah, gap fill potential. But look at that versus the Qs. Right, Qs haven't even taken out previous day low yet. If we get heavy under previous day low, all right, remember cash is king, then we can gap fill. If we do what we did yesterday, remember yesterday we took out pre-market low, spiked up. If we take out that, we can come back into range. We want to be careful there on the Qs. Best position was the open drive, really, which unfortunately didn't quite get to our level on NQ. Well, it did get there, but the way it's set up was, I mean, you have had to have had just a limit order sat at previous day point of control. And even then you wouldn't have got filled, but if you front ran it, you would have. But yeah, dirty that it didn't set up for us nice, unfortunately. But we got what we got. It's made money. Some of you made a lot more money than me walking this down, which is great. That's all that I care about, really. If you guys do well, I'm a happy man. Full forward. I'm still holding 3 micros from 548, trailing 513 to get 478, 450. 548. Okay, value. And you're trying to get, sorry, 513. Well, you hit 513. Oh, you're trailing at 513. Okay, you're about to get knocked out by the looks of it. Hopefully not, but yeah, it makes sense what you're trying to look for. Like we said, look, this is starting to reclaim this volume here. I'd be concerned now as a bear, right? Because we've reclaimed a volume shelf. Remember, up here, we rejected this volume shelf. This, we've reclaimed. So it will revisit, technically, probably revisit 25. Squeeze through 25, through initial balance. Then we're coming up here very, very quickly. So unless bears defend now 425, and they would have lost momentum really in edge because you'd want to defend this side. Here you go. So there's the reclaim. Remember, we talked about this. If we see this move, be very careful because it's going to test the other edge. If they get through here, we're going to test this edge. You're going to start to be a break of this if we start doing this. So just be careful. So far, bears have defended this edge here at 25. But I would be concerned as a bear now that we're going to squeeze out a bit higher. There wasn't particularly a lot of selling at the lower day. I'm not too worried about that. It's more that they've just reclaimed in this volume shelf. So rotation can happen in here now. And that's annoying. If you were short here, you got TP1, TP2. You want this. Sitting through this will be hard because we get thinner. The moment it breaks this, a spike can happen. Tell me that. Very après. No, it looks cool. All right, love. Love you. Yeah, you too. Finish that sentence, Jack. I think you're a couple words short. I believe slow moving markets move with. Then I think you might press enter before finishing it. So try to test this. Is it 25-ish? Sort of here, 20s to 25-ish. And if they reclaim, I think they come up here at that point. It's in danger of being a look below. They can still sell this, but it's a harder sell. I believe slow moving moves with volume are quality moves. Yeah, I don't disagree. I would say they're walked at, they're controlled. They're controlled. This is somewhat controlled, right? Controlled, 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 controlled. When they've finished doing the controlled selling, whether it's here or here, right, then you probably get the rotation back up. Right, nothing's changed from yesterday. Think about it. Have we moved position from yesterday? Right, we've built value so far inside of yesterday's value. Look above and fail, value inside. All right, so you want to be careful of this or this, because this is a huge amount of volume now built, like 2 days worth of volume now built in this range, which we will use. This is why we create inside days. Like, let's go to a daily. What are we doing? All right, we will use this volume. All right, they have the opportunity. Think about this. This is where we are. If they want to now force a breakout over here tomorrow, then what do we have? All right, beautiful. We can come and close this gap. If they want to trap all this inside volume and break down under it, if these are all buys in here, what do we have? Gap fill for here. Great. But we know participants for 2 days are in here. So above, potential squeeze out. Below, potential fade to this gap. Remember, we've got a gap here to fill as well. Or look below, trade inside. Look above, trade down. But volume is going to be trapped in inside days for a reason. Think about every good bar that we have, every big bar. Look at this here. Think about this. This big bar, this is inside. This is inside. Here's your wedge. What happens? Big bar outside. Why? 1, 2, 3 days of volume trap. Then what do we do? Forget this long wick. In New York, what we did, trade inside. Look above, fail. Outside of that, outside of the inside bar, failure. All right, so I expect this week, maybe we go inside again, but we're basically squeezing liquidity here, opening up a directional move outside of here. That's what we're doing. Correct, Jack. I agree. I agree with what you're saying, Jack. I do agree with what you're saying. Okay, so through 25s, and they're trying, well, they're just tagged into value area low on the session. This marked by the blue zone here. And we get a bit thicker above it. So this is where we failed from last time. And this is in this current swing leg. I'd be very cautious now. VIX just failed its pivot as well. All right, not able to claim back above 18. I would say if your next pullback, if buyers hold in here and start doing this, no more shorts for the session. Battleground now. It's a battleground. Book just cleared out. Was there news? Let me have a look. That book just got very, very thin. We will be back at 3 to 4% growth by early next year. Okay, let's just CNBC. Maybe they just news algos reacted to that. Okay, Bull's trying to defend now. They're trying to make that first high low of the day. Just be careful here if you're still short side. That's your first high low. They start to do this pivot. If they can reclaim IB, you're in here. All the time they're protecting that. As long as you were short up here, you're comfortable. But the moment this starts to squeeze out, right, you're going to start to see the break of this and relief back into range. But nothing has changed. We have not explored outside of previous day's value. We're still trading inside all value created yesterday. Nothing has changed here. It's a rotational market. So we've traded to the low end of a rotation. This means your edge for shorts has diminished. You've hit your cover points. What is your blue-green candle? Huh? What do you mean? These, it's just when we print over my flow zones. Don't worry about that too much. How long we got left? Okay, 188 watching, 107 likes. Come on, guys. Let's get these likes up. We can do a giveaway. Rob DC, share what? Video of what? Mate, do you video stream? What are you talking about? Get rid of this guy. You go like, what are you on about, mate? Bye. What do you think I'm doing? When you're looking for a first take profit, are you looking for a certain number of points or range? No, I'm looking for liquidity. For me, I don't really like, yes, the RR has to be good, but I'm looking to trade into the key level. Once we get into a key level, that's where I'm looking to lock in profit. That's where I'm looking to lock in profit, right? I don't care about fixed amounts or anything like that. Do I have an opinion on high Kanashi candles? No, I used to use them. They're good for momentum, but I don't like them particularly because they don't give you true price. So then, if you can't see price, I think it's problematic. And momentum-based candles. Good for trending markets. If you want to hold on to a trend, you can have it on a side channel, but not for me. Yeah, so if I was short today, let's say we got short down here, what would my TPs be? Well, I'd be covering some into New York Open. I'd be covering some into value area low. So these would be it. It wouldn't be because we've moved 30 points away. It wouldn't be like that. It's because this is where I expect us to trade into. Yeah. But I mean, you don't have to do it that way. Like some people have fixed profit. Like once they get 20 points up, they lock something in. That's also okay. Yeah, at least 1-to-1 and ideally multiples of that. You'll see on stream when I have big winners, it's because I'm taking 50, 100, 150, 200 point winners, not, 10-point scalp. Yep, that makes sense, Troy. That's perfect. Lock in profit at key levels, exactly what we're talking about, and then hold the runners based on 5-minute flow zones. So if 5-minute flow zones maintain you in a trend, looks good. Okay, again, danger here. Like I keep saying, this is dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. You're starting to see this potentially built out. Bulls haven't taken control yet, but they're starting to defend this edge of volume. And if shorts get caught down here, the squeeze back up is possible. Don't be a new money short here is what I'm saying. I know technically you can be like, well, it's an IB short. What are you aiming for though? We've taken all this liquidity. The low hanging fruit's gone. The only thing left is if they really want to come down here. Your chance of that is diminished that we've taken these already. If the IB was printed here and we had these to aim for, it makes sense. Here you go, starting to see this squeeze out now. Alex, what would you look for here to be going long? I mean, you could have actioned that long there, like we talked about. This flag. We've held value. We've held volume. This is probably this is a low risk long down here. Sort of in either here or here, risking this, targeting VWAP and maybe the edge of this if you can get in through. So I'd be targeting 50, 66, and 83 if I was going to be long. It's a little bit early for me at the moment because we've not flipped the flow zones. So I think this is just going to battle it out. And we haven't, I mean, think about the main structure. This swing created this low. It might be that they defend this, but technically the break is above there. Again, I'll be honest with you. I hate trading inside bar ranges. It's an easy way to get chopped up. But right now, I'd say bulls are starting to take over all the time they're defending 23 to 08. All the time this is being defended by bulls. If they leave shorts trapped down here, they have the ability to swing upside. This will be a counter trend move on the day, and it might well be sold into. All right, but we haven't taken out this pivot. Think about the structure. Right, all we're doing, this is internal range. Shorts are okay all the time they're defending this level here, technically. But this might be the first sign of a counter trend move. Now, what could that be? It could be a two-leg, couldn't it? 1, 2, up and tier. Shorts could definitely defend that and sell it. But I just don't think there's edge right now. I don't think there's a whole lot of edge right now. I definitely wouldn't be short here. You could argue there's a long, but I don't think we haven't flipped flow zones. There might be a little squeeze up, but it's just rotation. It's just rotation. That's all this is. 30 is the biggest traded level for a while. Traded over 1,000 lots there. Session volume profile. 30 is big. 25 and 30s are big levels. All the time we're under that. I don't think bulls have taken total control. And we can just fail and go back for that previous day low. I'm just not sure. It's something I'm after. Daniela, are you in the longs? Okay, just make sure you've got to stop him. Yes, a few people have asked for that. Yeah, we can do a Black Friday deal. Yeah, I just don't trust anything I'm looking at yet. Let me have a look at the delta. Is anyone actually caught offside here? Not really. Almost there on the likes, folks. 150 likes. You just need a few more. Bull's still defending, so you might get that second leg up. They might try and do that second leg up, and the question is do bears defend that leg up, or are we going to go full rotation? Again, I don't think there is a whole lot of edge in this market. Unless you are someone who loves trading range, and maybe some of you are, that's fine. You can trade edge to edge like we talked about this morning. Go back to the very beginning of this morning's briefing, let's say, pre-market analysis. We talked about going edge to edge. We've gone edge to edge now. So shorts will want a breakdown for previous day New York low. And if they get under that gap fill, bulls will want to defend value area low from yesterday, get back above IB and complete a rotation inside the range. So with my next payout, I'll be looking to buy the course and get in the Discord finally. I was wondering, should I get the course now or wait for the new one? Get it now. Get the one now, because anyone who you will need to have done the main one anyway, and anyone who's done the main one, as always with anything I ever release, gets a substantial discount on anything else, and the new one won't give access to the Discord. Hi Alex, why is it that my value area high, value area low, and point control are different values on the 30 minutes? It's just the way it calculates volume. It's dumb. I don't know, Jazzu. It's the same for everyone. The way it calculates volume tick by tick, bar by bar, is different. But they're there or thereabouts. Came across your channel yesterday. I don't trade NAS or signals. I watch your YouTube for company while I trade, and I love your reasoning. I took the short. Was also my first NAS trade. Thank you for your time. Hey, thank you for joining, Michael Moses. Glad it helped. Okay, so Bull's trying to get this second leg for a squeeze up. They've reclaimed volume. They're trying to hold volume. Bears are trying to deny them that ability to squeeze up to the 50s here. But I wouldn't want to be a new money bear down here. All right, the move's gone. The low-hanging fruit's gone. Anything below this to New York low yesterday is a bonus. The move has gone. In my opinion, the move's gone. Look at the VIX. It's trading right back inside its range right now. All right, if we just think about the VIX. All right, if you're looking for a downside move, this is not what you want to see, is it? All right, if you're looking for pressure on the market, you don't want to see the VIX trading back into range. You want to see VIX exploding upside. You're not seeing that. This is telling you, all right, we're in a range. VIX is in a range. It's stuck in its range as well. All right, break above here, market gets weak. Break below there, market finds a lot of strength. In here, market chops, right? So lots of indications of a choppy market right now. And here we go. Here's the attempt to move up into this next node at 50. So bulls have successfully now put in a higher low. And they will try and start squeezing out all these shorts who are getting compressed. All right, think about the shorts. They've made their money today. Dum, dum, dum. What was the target? Here. What's happening now? They're covering. Where are they going to cover to? VWAP, VWAP. Where are we thin? Here. So if we reclaim this grey box, we're going to trade to the other side of the grey box, just like we talked about earlier. Here, once we reclaim one side, we trade to the other side. With ranges, once you reclaim one side, The move should be to trade to the other side of the range. Now, we do get a bit thicker in 60s, no doubt about it, worth watching. So if you did take this long, like we talked about, TP1, I would say almost TP1 into here, to be honest. TP2, TP3, and then back up to this top side where we left buyer's trap this morning. All right, so I'd say now you're starting to see potentially seller's trap below here, buyer's trap below here. This is probably value on the day. Why is it not showing me a developing point of control? It is, it's up there. Well, it's just about up there. I'd say it's as good as being at 18s, and we're starting to leave it. All right, so there's your IB trade, IB to VWAP. I think we talked about that like 5-10 minutes ago. Yeah, Jazu, it would be the same no matter what program you use. You're going to have the same issue. It's just how it is. That's why I always watch it on a 1 minute. Nice, Daniela. Sorry. Congratulations. Nice trade. Was it you that asked me what I'd look for? You even got the buy signal. There you go. So once we converted the flow zones, you can see flow zones trading down, and we started to find bids as they started to curl. And this is a safer move now. So TP in here, other side of the range, if you get lucky, all the way up here. But just remember, this can easily be met with sellers. All right. Because all we're doing, like we talked about, is trading in a rotation. You're about to hit the 50% mark of the day. So from high of day to low of day, we're already at the 50%. Just be smart. This is why I say, like, edges, it's a very different trade when you trade edges to a trend. You're from South Africa. Oh, nice, Moses. I watched you guys at the weekend absolutely destroy France with a man down. Love watching the box. I love Khaleesi, mate. Best skipper out there, I think, for me. Unbelievable. Yeah, it should still work, contorted. Should still work. Contorted up 700. Gonna take another payout and buy the course. See you on Discord. Yeah. Welcome, dude. Look forward to working with you. Just passed my 50k TPT account. Congrats, Stefan. Nice work on this squeeze up. Really nice. So you can hold runners now. So you'd be looking for 80s. Just don't be a new money long up here, right? Your long opportunity was on the reclaim. There was your higher low. Right? This is where they got trapped. This is where the strong buying came in. They held a higher low. They reclaimed volume. They're trading up now into areas of pain for shorts. These are shorts now getting stopped out, right? And they're going to keep drifting higher. Remember, shorts are going to add. And once those shorts are done adding, you're going to get a blow off, and then probably you'll trade back down a little bit to the other side of volume for a bit. Right, but, you know, if they've turned the buy algo on now, what's the time? 11:20. They turn this buy algo on. So I'd say next TP, if you're in this, will be the 80s and then up into these 600s. This is a thick level. This is your New York Open and Globex and VWAP. If we get through that, there's lots that we can clean up here. This is a bit like yesterday. Those in Discord will know. We took the longs yesterday, and I was saying just hold on to your runners, because if they've trapped enough, this is very much like yesterday. You're starting to see that squeeze out. Think about yesterday at the lows. It's very, very similar. It was more of an expansive move, but we trapped shorts, big squeeze out. We held the higher low. Here's your little inverted head and shoulders, and then we had targets above. Once they built this liquidity up here, it gave them the opportunity for a re-squeeze. All right, once they built this liquidity up here, it gave them the opportunity for a re-squeeze. So buyers have successfully defended the same level as yesterday. Here you go. So TP2 hit, and now you'd be looking for these 600s. Please don't chase this as a long. You will get hurt if you chase this as a long up here. All right, this is a squeeze out. This is shorts getting trapped at the lows because they don't understand we are in a rotational market. Remember down here I said I would not be a new money short down here. You will get yourself hurt as we go up. I wouldn't be a new money long up here, and probably in here neither. I wouldn't want to be a long up here into the 600s. There's a very good chance that they defend those 600s. Nice work, everyone. Done for the day. Going to go play some video games with a huge smile on my face. Thank you as always. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so into this little low volume node here. Starting to see a little bit of selling here. So I would say 93s to 605s will need to be defended by bears. And if they reclaim 605, then just like they did here, once they reclaim one side of the range, they will test the other side of the range. This was a big old squeeze out here, folks. Very similar to yesterday, like we just went over. Very, very similar thing. Jack, hopefully you locked in some of your money, my friend. Once we protected value, like I said, you've got to be careful when we start protecting value. Back to the edge of this volume now. If they fail this volume, we will trade to the lower side of the volume. Like I said, bears will come back in and defend once the squeeze is finished. This is what you're starting to see now. So big wash all the way back down to the other side of volume. And if they fail hard here, all the way down to 50s. Okay, to understand this, do we have structure in this move here? What is this? Look, is there structure in here? No. Which means what? Okay. Shorts getting squeezed out. What happens at the top? Late buyers try and join. Retail buyers join. Okay, what are shorts going to do? Defend this into VWAP, reprice structure, probably back down into here or this midpoint. We do have a node here and here, right? And this now becomes the new battleground, just like you created one here. And we had it earlier in here, all right? Just understand, like when you're squeezing up, do never, ever, ever, ever chase a squeeze up. Okay, you were long here. You should have locked in profits, like we said. TP1, TP2, hold some for this. You might well get knocked out here on the drift back down. Make sense, everyone? Because this could have trapped all the bulls up here. And I would say if we come down here now and base, if we do one of these now and base liquidity down here, this is like last week, then I think lower. If they've now trapped bears at the lows, squeezed out, got them covering, got bulls to come back in, then used their liquidity to sell into, next time we come down here, right, bulls need to defend this top level. If we come underneath this top level into this, then I would expect lower because I'd expect this at that point. And this is heavy selling on the tape. It's moving fast now. Fast selling on the tape. Aggressive. Bears got very upset that they got squeezed out there. They're coming back in. So to the edge of range. So back to this level here now, 50s. Bulls will need to defend this level. Failing to defend this level will be a problem. Again, we're thin up, thin down. Thin up, thin down. Makes sense. I think we planned all of this before. Back to where we just squeezed out from. Back to that volume shelf. We can actually move this up a little bit. Sort of here, isn't it? Let's defend this here. So this is the level bulls want to defend. This volume here. All right, because this was their breakout. Breakout. Back to that level. They must defend this. If we get one of these now, I'd be very, very, very worried if I was a bull now. Like I'd be worried as a bear here. I would never be a bull up here. And now once they build out liquidity, we'll get that next move. It's probably coming very, very soon. Aggressive selling here. Into that key level. Bulls must defend this key level. Failing to defend this key level, then you will see a snap lower at this point. They've had their chance. They must defend this key level. They don't, and that previous day New York low is not out the question. All right, remember that. The previous day New York low 50s is not out the question. If they fail to defend here, can easily see this rotating all the way down after trapping all those bulls on that last move up. Point of control now flipped down here. I think we're going to sell hard at this point. Like I said before, I thought point of control should have moved. It's now moved into this level here. It's red line. So last chance for bulls to defend in this grey box. See, we just tagged the edge of the grey box. Bears will now want to sell 27s. Drift through 27s, they sell 50s. And they're looking to take out all this now. This looks very, very bearish at this point. Right? Amazing how quickly the market moves in rotations, isn't it? You have to, remember I say, see money, take money. In rotations, you have to see money, take money. You have to be disciplined enough not to chase up here. You have to play the edges. Now you're getting into a worse short location. But if they build out liquidity, there is an argument for it to trade lower at this point. You would ideally, you'd want to see a pop-up sold into rather than straight back down. Yeah, a great short if you caught it, like we talked about. Once we trade one side, don't get caught up here. We talked about this squeeze out, didn't we? There's probably going to be a short opportunity up here. This is, unfortunately, with this market, this is what's happening a lot in this market. It's just so quick to pick the direction. All right, new lows are coming here. There's no way they're going to be able to defend these lows. The momentum's so heavy. You might get a cover here, but new lows are coming in this market. And I'd say they want those 50s. Here you go. Oh, well, give us nothing. Give us nothing then, market. All right, they probably want down here into 50s now. So we want to see a pop up, a drive higher, set a lower high and defended now versus volume for a drift down into here. And if they've caught enough, we can get very, very heavy. R783, I didn't say short. I said if once the squeeze is finished, go and rewind it. Once the squeeze is finished, bears will come in. I did say that. Go and rewind it. It hasn't given you a short opportunity. It's just slammed it. But I did make it very clear. Once the squeeze is finished, it will fade all the way back down. And if it builds liquidity here, now it's just in a hurry, though. It's in a hurry to move lower. We lack liquidity. I was very, very clear about it. No, Raf. I mean, there's no that. This is like this morning, right? What we want is this for the entry. This is just a straight move, slam back down, right? A bit like that earlier. Didn't give me the short opportunity up here. The location got better and better and better as we drifted into value area high, but all it's doing this morning is like instant reactions rather than building liquidity. Let's see if we can drift up here and if it's going to offer a reshort. Problem is now that we have just swept low of day. Let's see. It's going to get messy. Location isn't the best now, unfortunately. I want to move back higher first. I want to be careful as we go in rotation. We did just sweep, so it would have been better if we didn't sweep low of day, if we came to here, found a bid, and then faded. But let's see. See if it offers something. I think 50s are possible if they sell through, but we might need to pop all the way up to 33s or something first to rebalance some of this liquidity. Where's this seller on the tape? Is he up at 30s, 30s? Yeah, sell was way too quick. It's not a bad location for a long, but now you got to ask yourself, what's the momentum, JD? Like, what's the momentum? You're fighting against very strong sell momentum now, looking for an upside move. It's not. The difference is now, the squeeze has happened. The squeeze has happened. Here's the squeeze out. Bears have defended. You've come back down. Okay, argue that there's been a sweep, but this is very strong momentum. So even if you get the long there, what are you targeting? I'd argue there's a squeeze out, which probably gets met with sellers either here or here. All right, so either here or here. The reason it's not A+ as a sell is because we've swept this. It's the only reason. If we'd done this, I'd be more inclined for this short back down. What's the time now? Got to be careful of time. But yeah, we're starting to defend. This is probably the pot that gets sold into. If not here, up into 50s. Got to be careful with location. It's not the best location for the short, but the momentum is good. So I'm just waiting here, seeing if I can see. Yeah, big buy delta that side into 20s for sure. And let's just see. Where was the imbalance above? There will be one. Just zoom out here. Where did buyers get stuck trying to absorb? 35, imbalance at 70. Tricky market. Hang on. Where is that stronger selling? 90s, 35s. Okay. $500 is 5 day. Yeah, I have it right at the low day actually. 478 is the 5 day. Right there. I have the 20 day at 525 right now. So again, not in the short. Want to see if a pop up here fails. It's not A plus for 2 reasons. 1, time. 2, we took out lower day. But I want to see if we can do some form of leg here, which is sold into. And if it is sold into, there's the argument for 450s to be attacked. But again, no position here. Absolutely nothing. Back down to value. They're trying to sell this level here, this volume that we're in, this grey box, same rotational grey box as earlier. They're trying to sell it. If they break through this, they're going to test 50s. So I'm just trying to see if they want to do a second leg up to 50s first to reprice some of this. Very, very possible. So I guess, JD, you could argue if you wanted the long here, but you're underneath flow zones, you're underneath VWAP, you're in a strong momentum down. If you wanted the long here or from down here, you could, but you'd be having to know that you're counter trend selling into this. There's no guarantee that you re-squeeze up now. Let's just see. Let's see if they get up to 50s and see if they offer a sell or if we protect this volume here. Again, no position here for me, just waiting. It's very, very tricky when we trade in rotational markets. I don't want to be too greedy, looking for a short near the lows, trying to go lower. So I'm just trying to see if we can squeeze out and if bears come back in. I'm watching the tape to see if the aggressive sellers who came in here come back in again and defend 50s. And I also need to be aware, if we get through 50s, then I have to be observant of the volume we've created down here. Because if they hold, if we get through 50s and they hold 28s to 12s, then the same thing can happen as here earlier. So it's definitely tricky. But here's your IB test. And this is the gut check, right? So if they get through IB, 50s are on deck. If they fail IB here, I think there's an argument for 50s. Probably a lot on the options chain on NVIDIA as well, I'd reckon. I'm guessing NVIDIA's into its gap, which is why you're probably getting these whippy moves. Watching this very carefully now to see if they start breaking down. Sellers coming in here at 20s. Still not convinced. Why do I need a P every time? Yeah, POC moved to here. This red line on the screen is POC. Starting to look like we might want to break down here. Starting to look like it. We're defending this. I'm more interested if we pop up here and fail. Give a second leg and then fail would be more ideal. But it is starting to have that look and feel. I just want to be very careful. This is a sensitive area. I feel better if we do something like this. If we're going to do it. Reclaim of here, not interested at all. It's starting to feel a bit heavy here. They're starting to attack this. Was IB the one? Was IB the one? Back to the edge of volume here. I think it's more that I'm on my third cup of coffee. It's probably more what it is, Adam. Just move my hand off the mouse for a minute. Just give this a minute to settle down. It's congested here. Point of control is never a good location to be taking a new position from, but I think we're trying to move lower. It's just, can they offer one more push-up, trap some more balls before doing it? But again, the only reason it's not A+ is this wick here did the damage. We would have preferred we didn't do that, pushed up and then came for it, and then we have TP1 and TP2 down here. So it's not A+ because we've already swept, unfortunately. This looks like a look above and fail. Think about Wyckoff, and this is your sign of strength. Trade back inside. I think we're going to move lower. Just can we offer one more little pop-up first is what I'm questioning. Yeah, exactly, Mo. That's how I feel. 20 minutes till lunch as well. Look at that last H1 candle. Absolutely destroyed. It got destroyed on that move up. Is there any outlying delta here? $20 is a big traded level, but like no outlier in delta. A bit of buy side. 20, 25. I'm just looking for big volume areas where we've transitioned. Yeah, 2025s. Sellers trying to defend those right now. They might have just caught them there. This might be it. Oh, you motherfucks. Pardon my French. What am I volume profile? Just anchored. Put it this side. It's just anchored. Anchored volume profile. Anchored to the 930. Anchored to the open. All right, so this is volume since 930. It's all I'm ever interested in. Come on, get up first. All right, tell you what. Maybe if I pee, it will give me the chance to drive up and then give me a chance to get in. Okay, maybe they come and test. Still no position. I'm waiting to see if buy side delta gets trapped on a drive up and if sellers come and meet them. Don't want to sell the lows, so waiting to see does buy side come back in and get trapped here, and if sellers meet them for a 2-leg and a failure. I want to be very careful because we're trading at the lows of the range, so it's not the ideal position. But ideal position to short is up here and up here. I am very, very aware of that, so I don't know if I even want to take it, but this is what I'm looking for, all right, for a 2-leg back down. We are defending an IB low right now. We're defending this. All the time bears defend that. They're going to look for this rotation. Bulls will need to reclaim 50s and this for a squeeze up. All the time we're defending this location. Bears have an edge for me. They are offering 40, 50, and 60 on the book right now. Mo A, hey brother, I just started watching your stream here and there over the past month. I love your channel, great analysis, helpful insights on how the market is moving. Appreciate your efforts, Mo, I appreciate you joining and being kind with your words, my friend. It means a lot. It means a lot. See a difference in price between my chart and yours, assuming you're trading futures. I'm on CFD. Yeah, futures over here, buddy. No CFDs for me. I like centralized market. I don't like anything where they can control the liquidity and the stops, which is what you have on CFDs. If you're trading NAS 100, I would advise you just move over to NQ. Honestly, you will get slipped far less. Trade on a centralized exchange as much as possible. Otherwise, your broker, he's gonna fuck you. They have legit market makers stealing your money over on CFDs from the spread. That would be my advice. But hey, you do you. If you're comfortable with it, do what you got to do. There's a reason there's so many scammers over on FX and CFDs. That's why. No, you got Mo A and Mo B. It's good. I like it. I'm going to change my name to Mo C. All right, Bear's trying to defend this edge here like we talked about. They are offering prices higher. They are trying to defend this edge of range. We're still trading around the previous day value area low. I have a feeling Bears want to absolutely slam this. It's just whether we can pop up. I'm waiting for the VIX to try and find a bid. It's trying to put in a higher low here since that last flush candle. So I'm just waiting for this to develop. I might wait too long and it might not offer me anything until lunch. And that is also very, very possible. But on the book above, I'm very aware that they're offering 40s, 50s, 55, 60s, and 70s for that drift up to get filled. Daniela, I can definitely see the difference coming from Forex broker to trading Apex accounts now. Yeah, you won't get you will always want to be, if you're trading on futures or if you're trading the NQ or you're trading gold, you want to be on like COMEX or CME because you get centralized data, right? So when I'm looking at the Bookmap or level 2, this is the only orders there are is what I'm looking at. When you're trading on Forex, it's not centralized. Right? If they want to slip you, they will happily slip you. We will do a giveaway in 15 minutes, definitely, Awani. We will do giveaway. Have we got enough likes? I assume we have if we're saying that. I haven't even checked. Let me have a look. Yes, we have. Well done. Okay, we can do that. I'm new to your channel. I've been trading 8 years now for futures. I just want to say that I see a lot of orders on top before I want to see it get absorbed, and then I'll enter shorts. I want to see a lot of orders on top before I want to see... Huh? I see a lot of orders on top of us. Yeah, the ones I'm talking about, the offers. I want to see it get absorbed, and then I'll enter shorts. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly the same. I want to see a move up here, and I want big buyers who are market buyers, and I want to see passive sellers say no, and then I want to see this if I'm going to short it. I don't want to short down here. I'm also aware that if buyers take control of this level here, I'm not looking for the short. I'm also very aware of that. I started on FX. That's why I'm on my funded account challenge. Was away from trading for 3 years. Makes sense. But yeah, I think like if you've been trading on funding pips before, just move to funding ticks. I guarantee you find it so much easier. Yeah, it's looking bullish. Let's have a little look. Oh, it is, isn't it? Yeah, it's relative strength there. It will be because the mag's weak. Let's have a quick look on the breadth of the market. We haven't actually done that today, and it will be because the mag 7's weak and everything else is okay. Yeah, that's exactly what we're seeing. So if you look at finances and healthcare, they are all currently green. I'll show you the moment that Finviz stops being a piece of junk. Let's try that again, shall we? and let me show them. Oh my God, Finviz, come on. My browser does not like Finviz. Let's try and move this over. It just disappeared. Where is it? Okay. All right, so we look up here, relative strength in ESY. Finances, which are not in the queues, green. Healthcare, which are not in the queues, green. Energy, also green. So these sectors down here, green. Who are the biggest red players? Tech, right? Tesla, Nvidia, MU, AMD. Look at the chip names, INTC, Oracle. Everything AI related, red. Where have I said the rotation's going out of AI, out of chips? Apple. All right, so you're seeing a rotation out of this sector back into healthcare and Apple. Every time we see weakness in one sector, we're seeing a rotation. Getting interesting. They're pulling their orders up here, though. Sellers coming in here. Oh, my God, you fucks. Why'd you do it when I'm looking at Finviz? You literally can't even give me a second. You cannot give me a second. All right, we're defending 35s on sell side right now. Where can I get Bookmap? On the website, mate. You'll have to purchase it. All right, it's its own package. If you use code FlowZoneTrader, it should give you a discount there. Sorry to hear that, Richard. I hope you're okay, mate. DMs are always open for you. Futures aren't popular yet in Russia. Only came across it after I bought my challenge. Ah, okay, that makes sense. It would just be on like bookmap.com or something. Yeah, let me post. I'll post it for you in the chat. Give me a second. There you go. That's the link to Bookmap in the chat. Don't think I'm going to get the trade here, folks. It's building out liquidity, but we're getting very close to lunch. I'm becoming less and less interested in it. All right, because we're building out too much volume. What I wanted to see was very clear. I wanted to see a two-leg pullback, which was sold into. After this dump here, I wanted to see a 1, a 2. I wanted to see bears defend this level, sell side, and structure for downside pressure. Okay, this is building out lots of liquidity. This is the same as here. I don't want to get chopped up in this. I'm looking to trade in extreme, and this can become more and more dangerous, especially because of this. This did the damage. Had we not taken that, and we'd done this move here, I'd feel better about playing sell side on it, but I'm becoming less interested in it by the minute. Did I say Russia? Sorry if I said that. Is that me that said that? I knew you were from South Africa because we were talking about the box. So maybe it was just said it randomly. Sorry. Do I use support and resistance? Yep, absolutely. Blue box, support. Red box, resistance. Grey box, possible resistance areas based on volume. This is becoming less important by the minute, though. We've built out more and more here, and I'd say the bigger volume is up here now. Yes, doing. Just trying to grind it. It's right in its midpoint, isn't it? Mid of IB. ES basically hasn't moved. It explored upside, Right, we traded down today to IB low. We reclaimed VWAP. We traded up towards the IB high. We traded back down to the IB low. We've reclaimed VWAP. You're literally at New York Open on the ES. Like nothing, absolutely nothing has changed on ES. So relative weakness in the Qs, like we talked about. I think I'm probably not going to take this trade even if it sets up now, folks, because we're 5 minutes from lunch. So just based on time, doesn't make sense for me to take it, because I think if volume starts leaving the charts, we'll see. We'll have to really, really, really entice me with trap buyers. We did have more buyers step in again there at 40s or 38s. They want to fill these sellers up at 55, 60, and 70. And I guarantee you these guys up here pull on the Bookmap. I guarantee you these guys pull. I don't think they're legit. I think they're buyers they're going to offer here, and then I think they're going to pull their orders. I don't think they're legit orders. 39 is a huge delta level for buyers. You can see it here. 790 on the delta for buyers at 39s on the book. See it here? 1,275 lot buy side. It stops moving up here. 39s, yeah. I'd say 39s is the big level. Sellers defend 39s, those buyers remain stuck. I know, Willa Williams. I know. We've had the same. The fortunate thing is I do trade with Discord, so we have caught them after lunch. I think it was even... Was yesterday the same, or did we take that on stream? I can't remember. What was yesterday? Where was it? Morning. Yeah. What time? 9 a.m. around here. Day before the same. Friday was the same. Okay, sellers defending those 39s. Buy side is stuck at 39. No doubt about it. Buy side is stuck at 39s right now. Zero doubt about that. Delta is heavy up there. If they can't reclaim 39s, buyers will remain stuck. Oh. My only question is, what if sellers have been in full control and they cover their position into lunch? That's why I'm concerned about the time. It's the only reason. It's the only reason. Right at POC right now. I think my bias is to drift lower. It's just the time is the worst into lunch. But my bias is that we come down for previous day New York low at the moment. Probably going to happen. Volume slowed right down here as well. It just tapered right off since that kill candle. And this is not good. Probably a lot of sellers under here. So defending this is what makes it harder. You'd have to be covering into these and then holding for this move down here. Might well set up. If you're in this, it might well set up for you. It might well do it for you. It's looking better and better by the second, but it's too late now. I needed it 30 minutes ago. I needed that reaction to do it 30 minutes ago, not now. Not with 1 minute until lunch. New hourly bar coming. Just be aware of that. New hourly bar coming. Lunchtime coming. Be very careful, please, folks. Still protecting previous day. Value area low. Maybe you get lucky and you get like a big dump on the hourly bar. But just be careful. Please be careful. We've had a really nice day here. They're still protecting value area low. I think a flush is coming, but again, it's timing. I don't think these guys above are legit. But they keep moving their orders. Look, he's moved down. I'm not even convinced they're legit. So if you're waiting to see if they get they act as absorbers. If you're going to absorb, I don't think you signal on the tape that you want to absorb. Right? I think you do it hidden. This is just false advertising, in my opinion. Just because of how they've moved today, I'm not even sure that they have good intentions. Let's put it that way. We'll see. We'll find out once you get into them. I mean, they're at 30s now, so they've moved right the way down from 60s and 70s to 30s. So let's see if this 400 lot here gets filled. Remember, big delta at 25. Buyers are stuck at 25, and then more buyers are stuck at 30. So let's see. He just pulled again. See, they're not even legit. They're not legit. It's what I'm saying. It's all bollocks. They're just playing games with you. If you are going to absorb the tape as a seller, you're not going to make your intentions clear because you want buyers trapped. You're not going to make your intentions clear. You're going to do what happened here. You're going to let them squeeze out and then absorb it over and over and over again with small lots rather than like a big order. That's why he just pulled all of this. Right, so now we're seeing big buyers come in at that same level where Delta's getting more and more offside here. Now you've got 1,800 lot Delta into 30s now. All right, so that's the big level. That's your big Delta outlier right now on the day. Which they're starting to claw back, to be honest. And the big one is here, sorry, 39s. That's the big one, 790. That's the one I'd be watching, 39s. How do we operate at 39s? That's the big one to watch. 790 offside at 39s. Delta, yeah, it's just buy side volume versus sell side volume, based on aggressive orders. All right, aggressive orders, market buyers or market sellers. So if you have a 1,000 lot market buyer at 90 and we don't move higher, right, that means you're going to have buy side delta there, but we're going to move lower is because you've got a passive seller on the book. So we can use basically the opposite to what most people would use. You can use market orders who are trapped in the market to give us direction. And because most people are buying market, selling market again. We've defended 39s again there. We only traded into 37. So this shelf at 39 is becoming more and more important for the remainder of the day. Right? If you're looking at the level 2 above me, can you see this here? Where my pen is or my arrow is 39s. Right, 790. There's 790 more market orders transacted there at 39s than sell orders. All right, so look at this. Buy side 1,275, sell side 485, yet we moved lower. 39s is your over under right now. Because remember, to fill an order, the ask and the bid have to match. If you've just got limit orders in, right, the ask and the bid are never going to match, right? You need market orders to match. So like, this is all in the course, but I'll give you an example. Let's say, I always like doing this one as a good example. Let's say I have my, let's say this watch here, all right, this IWC, all right, I'm willing to sell this watch for $15,000. So I have an offer, all right, at $15,000. That's my asking price, $15,000. Let's say you guys are only willing to pay $10,000. That's your bid. All right. So limit buy $10,000, limit sell $15,000. All right. In between that, we have a spread of $5,000. This is an extreme example, but it's to make it make sense. Okay. Until we agree on price and shake hands, the market will not move. Now, let's say I'm like, oh, well, maybe I'm asking too much and I'm going to come down to $12,000. Well, you're still not meeting me. You're waiting, you're waiting, you're waiting. But there might be another participant who's like, well, I think $12,000 is a good price. So I'm not gonna bid at 11,000. I'm gonna go right in at 12,000 and get that IWC off the market before anyone else realizes it's a good price. So what does he do? He market buys at 12,000. He meets me at my price. That's when the ladder or the tape moves up to my price. And we shake hands and we fill. All right. The only time fills are done are when limit sells are met by market buys, or when limit buys are met by market sells. All right. That's how the market moves. Because if you've got two limits, they're never going to move and meet each other. They're going to have to become market participants. Okay, so we're 339s now into lunch, and this was my worry, is that you get a squeeze out because all the shorts over lunch start to cover their position. This is why I don't like playing into lunchtime. So let's see what happened once we got to 12 o'clock. They're probably covering their position now. And this is why I become less interested. And we've reclaimed 39s with volume, with increased volume. These are shorts starting to cover out now. So JD, if you took that buy off value, you're a brave man, but it looks good. Especially with ES doing what it's doing. Yeah, this is why I don't trade into lunch, because you've got to ask yourself, if you've been short all day, right? If institutions were short all day, then they got forced to cover, and then they came back in here at the midpoint, they got that A+ move under the low. What are they doing at lunch? They're like, well, I'll take 90% of my position off, and I'll go and have a nice beer, right? That's what's happening at the moment. They're like, see ya. Which is why we don't trade into lunch when we see stuff like this. But yeah, wild. Same thing as here. Compression squeeze, compression squeeze. No offers, no aggressive selling. All aggressive buy side. Reprice right the way up. Where's it going to go now? Now that they've caught them. This volume repriced up to other side of this edge. If they reclaim this, this, and this. So rotation continues. Here's your rotation. All right. This is your rotation today inside of yesterday's rotation. No acceptance below here. No acceptance above here. Compression inside day on every time frame inside right now. Yes, absolutely, Nihal, because if you're covering, the moment you cover a short position, you become a market buyer, right? And the moment you sell your long position, all right, you stop out of your long position, you become a market seller. Which is what all this is. We come right back to the other side, fill the imbalance. Hang on. All right. What all this is. Once we got through 39s, what do we say 39s? This was 38.25. Look at the difference once we get through 39s. Boom. 100 lot, 160 lot, 67 lot, 35 lot, 202 lot. No acceptance above here yet. Now you're starting to see some selling up at these highs. What happened last time we got up to these highs? We're repricing where these sellers came in before. You could see this edge here. This was the guy that got stuck. Look at his average price. 25,538.5. He was 1,079 lot. So just make this make sense for someone said, do we trade support and resistance? Right. This is your offside player. Right. Bears needed to defend this offside player. Can I draw like this? For this move here. They didn't defend it, which means what? He's back in the money. Everyone was short against that level, right? Everyone was short. Can I get rid of that? No. Everyone was short in here against this guy because he was offside. So now, if we drift back to that level and hold it, Bulls would now try and defend, 38 or whatever he is. 39s, like we said before. Bulls will try and defend in front of 39s now. No, there's no way of not knowing it. They're just market orders. You don't necessarily know whether it's shorts covering but this will be shorts covering. I mean, just think about this. If you were short against this, looking for new lows. You've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attempts, 6 attempts, 7 attempts. It gets to lunch. What happens? What happens the moment you're short here? What happens the moment this happens? Well, if you've got any common sense, you're stopping out. And the later you are to stop out, the more hurt you're going to be, right? So this is basically a break and retest. Yeah. I mean, if they pull down this far, so go back to the other screen. All right, let's just think about this. Shorts get squeezed out first time. Shorts are met with sellers up here. They slam it. They take out lower day. This is why it's not an A plus short in the next move, because we've made a new low. We drift up into edge of volume. This buyer here, in here, was the 1,000 lot buyer. All right. We trade under his average price. What happens? We sell against him. We sell against him. We sell against him. We sell against him. At this point here, they needed this move down. They had to get this move down. They don't get it. It gets absorbed. Breakout, shorts get squeezed. What do you expect now? A retest of 39, right? Exactly the same. If bulls defend 39 or in front of it, right? If you develop bullish momentum here, bulls are going to take control with a look below and fail once, twice. This is the edge. We go higher at that point. If they fail back into 39, you're into the same pattern of a balance down here. This is a huge battle down here. Look how long we've been here. We were here at 10:30. We were here at 10:50. We were here at 11:15. We were here at like 11:30 all the way till midday, right? All the volume, the point of control, everything's down here. Bulls need to defend that. Bears need it back under that. If bears can't get it back under that, bulls are going to start taking control of this session. What is that same level of 39s? It's the initial balance, right? So if bears want a trend day, they've got to get under here. If bulls protect this, they're leaving all this bearish volume here trapped. That makes sense? Same thing. I can probably do it, Adam. I'll have to check. Why? What's this guy saying? I've probably missed it. Just DM me in Discord of what he's saying and what his username was, and I'll do it. And these things only happen after 10 a.m. New York. No, not necessarily. It all depends where the range was. Oh, right. Okay, don't worry about it. I'll sort it. Yeah, so Bulls successfully defending this. All right, so this here needs to be defended. Is as simple as that. All right, Bulls need to defend this. If they defend this, they will try and complete a rotation to value area high. Again, I'm going to repeat this. These are not my favorite markets right now because we are in balance. All right, we're inside. And just before I go, I'm going to repeat this. We're inside previous day's value area. We are inside previous day's daily candle. And that's previous day's daily candle. All right, so we are trading probably around the midpoint of the previous day. Yes, midpoint of the previous day. So we're not in discount. We're not in premium. We are in discount of value, but not of the previous day. So we expect rotation, 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 rotation. If you are not able to be see money, take money in these environments, it's very easy to get trapped. Like I said, I would have been looking for the short here. If this had happened straight away, right, if we had done this move, this move, this move, right, I would have been looking for a short. If this had happened within 5 minutes of here without taking this low, this made sense to me. But they caught it. They took the low. They trapped bears at the lows. They caught it. And now bulls have the opportunity to at least have some control for the remainder of session above here. I would say bears have lost their edge now. So if they want to complete a rotation, they will need to get through here. Through here, we go back to this area here, which is supply for sure, and bigger daily and weekly supply overhead. And there you go, successfully defending this area from bulls now. So squeeze is potentially on here, especially if lots of sellers came in here, which they have come in between 64 and 40s now. So a break above 64 will probably get more relief. Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily, it is, Michael, but it's more about the delta underneath this. Remember how we just talked about? If you focus on the left-hand side, let me just go back to the Bookmap. Again, I'm giving you edge here. We'll go through all of this in the course, but what did we say it was? 30s. Just watch the level 2 on the right, the tape. 50s is a big one. Right, so this is a big level, but where's 30s? This is what matters. Here we go. You see this outlier? Can you see where my mouse is? 791 buy side, all right? That was the big 1,000 lot player, all right? So all the time we were below that, bears had control. We're not below that. So the next level here, we have buy side now trapped above 80. All right, above 80. So that last push probably just trapped a load of buyers up there. Did we tag into it? Yes. So look at the Bookmap here. 710 lot market buys happen into 80. So now we have delta around 80 trapped. 300 lot offside around between 68 and then where's 80? 68 to 80 is now the rotation. So 68 to 80 is now the rotation. And if bulls can't get above 80 and they keep getting trapped up there with big size, which they look like they're about to be let out, 710 lot up there, all right, then we will move lower. They want to complete the rotation at the moment, and you now have a higher low, right, for the first time today, I'd say, because this didn't do it. Remember, this didn't offer a higher low. It washed. Now you have a higher low. Now bulls are trying to complete rotation and take out these stops, and if they take these stops out, you probably get a pop-up to New York Open. But currently, they just got themselves caught buying up here, which is probably just shorts covering, you know, when we see that. But this is now the level. They will want to defend this to do this. So I would not be bullish this high in the momentum, but the bullish case was definitely in this move here, right? And if we run these stops here, you probably get a move up into the New York Open. Right, I'm not going to give you any more edge. Everything else is going to have to be in the course because I give away too much here for free. All right, let's do the giveaways because we haven't got through those yet. I was on the wrong thing there, wasn't I, for a minute? Sorry. Let's do this giveaway. We'll give away a free beginner course and we'll give away an Apex account. As I said, that 25,600 level is what I want. Yeah, it makes sense, but just be careful. There's a lot of bulls got trapped into, or a lot of delta got trapped into 80, but a break above 80, I think you're going to get that move towards that New York Open. You've got the 24-hour view up there at 86, but reclaim that. You can get that move towards 600. Okay, let's do these giveaways for if you get. Okay, just type course in chat. We'll do a beginner course giveaway. So back up to this delta here at 80. It's where the trap participants are. There's a 750 lot at 600 if you believe in. Squeeze incoming here. They're trying to get a squeeze through 80s up to 600. And the rotation continues. What's that old high there? What's that print? 92. Yeah, I think if you trade through 92, you hit 600 instantly, and you probably squeeze quite violently up to 604, to be honest. I would have thought. Give you guys a minute longer. Okay, 10 seconds here, and then we'll pull the winner. Okay, there you go. There's a move to 600s. That guy just left as well. He just left the tape. So make sure you're paying yourself into these moves. All right, let's choose this winner. Hey, JD. There you go, buddy. It might be a bit simple for you, but you're welcome to do it. And I can give you, you can give it to a friend if you want to eat as well. Just shoot me an email, bud. info@flowzonetrader.com. No worries, man. Okay, let's do an Apex winner. Remember, Apex currently 70% sale and $40 for activation fee. Very, very cheap. Cheapest they've done. Okay, just type Apex in chat. Just type it once. As you know, code FZT always gets you the best price at Apex, but we'll give one away for free now. Re-squeeze up. They're still bidding here. I think they want to get to that New York Open, and you've got volume above it. All right, just look at this New York Open, 605 to 627. You've got to be taking money off into this move here, folks. You have to be paying yourself into this move here. We're thick with volume there. If we start bidding above that, yes, there's absolutely an argument to go and close the gap. All right, there's an argument to try and get back into here. And this is gap fill. Okay, but you've got to pay yourself into there. You can hold runners beyond there. This is looking more and more like yesterday at this point. But again, we're in a value rotation, so don't expect too much. I definitely wouldn't be long up here as a new money long. You should have been long on the basically 39 break or the pullback in towards that. That was your long trigger. The pullback in towards it. All right, let's pull the winner. Family Bartel. That's my local Harley shop, Bartels. Family Bartel. Are you here, Family Bartel? Let me know you're here. Hey, nice. Okay. All you've got to do, send me an email, info@flowzonetrader.com. Please just send me a screenshot of your YouTube with you logged in so I know it's you, and I will sort you out with an Apex account. All right, team. I think that's it for us. Nice work today. Those of you who caught that long, really good. Yeah, I don't trade into lunch, but it has been. Someone talked about it earlier. I think it was Willa saying it always seems to come in lunch. You're right. 12 o'clock, short covering into lunch. Bulls take control, drift up to New York, and that's a decent trade there. And then your money's done. And if they don't hold over value now, guess what? There's your range for the day, and the rotation will continue. I won't be trading the afternoon, team. Not interested to trade a rotational market in an afternoon session. I think that the edge starts to diminish more and more and more. So what I'm going to do is just set some price alerts outside of value in case we get there. Other than that, happy with what we did today. Traded it well, made our money. Always other opportunities, but like I said, rotational markets, not my favorite markets. And I size up in my favorite markets and I size down in these rotations. All right, team, big love. Chat to you guys in Discord later. Congrats to the winners. Make sure you send me those emails. I will be back tomorrow morning, as always, 9:15 East Coast time. We'll do the pre-market analysis. Please don't get trapped in a rotational market. You do not want to enter any position at a midpoint of a rotation. All right, your edges, like we've seen all day, are the only things that pay. All right, edges really today were up here, down here, and the reclaim here, and now you can see we're already coming back into that rotation. All right, once the squeeze finishes, back to rotation. Squeeze finishes, back to rotation. You're going to see it over and over again until one side has absolute full control on multiple time frames. At the moment, I would argue you're in a fight, all right? Like we talked about at the beginning of the show. Your daily, your weekly, your monthlies do not agree with your H4, your H1, your M15 right now. You're in a battle while they build it out. So be smart, all right? And headlines can hit at any moment. We don't know what's going on with the government. Do we get all these old prints that we've been waiting for? What happens if they suddenly release an NFP print from 4 weeks ago, which looks horrendous? All right, so just make sure you're using hard stops, okay? Peace and love, everyone. Be kind to each other, and I'll see you all tomorrow morning.